Yo, what's going on? What's going on? All right, you know what time it is. You know what rhyme it is. It is your gracious host A6, and you are tuned in and locked in. And we are doing the damn thing tonight. You know what time it is. You definitely know what rhyme it is. All right, so how's everybody's weekend? We're gonna start off with the basics. How did everybody do this weekend? Do anything interesting? Go anywhere interesting? See or hear anything interesting? I know I definitely heard some interesting stuff over the last few days. This week has been this week has been something else, man. But hey, just another day in the twilight zone, you know. We chose to come down here, whatever dimension you might be from. You elected to come down here to this earth for whatever reason that you're supposed to be here and help out. So we can't complain too much. But hey, it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. Yep. So this weekend for me, as usual, I didn't do a whole lot. Did a lot of studying. Let me jump in these. Let me catch these comments. What up, Mello? What's up with you, man? What up, man? Caught you on a lunch break? Bet. Yeah, hell yeah, that's what it is. Glad you could tune in, man. I'm glad you're here. What up, Carl? What's going on, man? Foreign national. Fellow foreign nationals here. Time for the weekly dose of information. What up, Platinum? How you feeling? How you feeling? We should have a few more people dropping in. We got two guests coming in today too. Well, actually, one I have confirmed. The other one's 50-50. So give him some time. He might stop through. An old friend of ours. Always good with the information. Trying to get the views up and all that good stuff. So I mean, yeah, if you know anybody that's into this kind of stuff or people that are asking questions and all that, man, please by all means definitely send them my way. Send them the link to the channel so we can grow, man. Because I'm getting out here. I'm about to do some heavy footwork in terms of getting the channel spread out. So I'm about to be old school with it, man. I ain't even going to pay nobody to do nothing. I'm gonna get out there and physically do it. Same way they used to do back in the day with the street team. You know what I'm talking about? If you posting up like stickers or something like that what street teams used to do, passing out flyers, that kind of stuff, you know what I mean, just getting the name out there so that more people who are interested in having this information, because I'm noticing there's a lot of people asking questions and I have the answers, but a lot of times places they're asking the questions that uh aren't the proper places to be having that conversation, if that makes any sense. Like I have a conversation with somebody and we'll literally have about like probably like 10 minutes to talk. And they'll ask me a question that I cannot answer in 10 minutes. But I'll have the answer, but it'll just be like, damn, bro, we need more time for that. Because that's a difficult one you just asked me. But yeah, that happens, man. That happens. Like people ask questions and you got so much information from because you can't just give them a part of it. Because if you give them a part of it, it's gonna be wait, what? That don't make no sense. How is that this? You know, like trying to explain to somebody how you can travel instead of drive, and then you you start getting in. Well, yeah, you can actually not put a license plate on your car at all and just travel. It's like, what are you talking about, bro? And then you gotta go into the Supreme Court case law. You gotta go into it's a lot, man. But yeah, that happens a lot. But you know, when we talk about these things, this is basically what we deal with. You know, we're dealing with a collective information and the time we're working with a lot of times throughout the day, and when we run into people out in the world, it ain't enough time. Like, yo, we going somewhere to do something. We literally are going to get something and come back. It's not like we just hanging out. And if we out at a bar or something like that, a lot of times people ain't thinking that way, so they ain't even asking them kind of questions. And if they are, they too hammered to even really register what the hell you saying anyway. So you know what it is, man. Definitely. Got some more comments in here. What up, Gary? I got your email. We will be talking about that today too, man. I got your email. I did get your. Let it be known when I get y'all when y'all send me emails. If I don't respond, I did see it because it's just me doing this dolo right now. But the amount of emails I'm getting, I can still keep track of with my day-to-day routine. So if I don't respond, I did see it, but I might have looked at it and then like all right, boom, let me file that in the to-do list to take a look at later. But if I didn't respond to it, don't think I'm ignoring you because I'm like I said, I'm on the move. I'm usually on the move. But I do if I'm on the road or something, I get an email and I see the icon pop up while I'm behind the wheel traveling. I'll go ahead and hit the little link you send me, like the little YouTube link, and while I'm traveling, I'll just be listening because I got my my phone connected to my speakers. So whatever I'm playing, I can hear in the whole entire conveyance. Hello, my friend. Greetings from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, USA. What up, Florida? I like how Florida's holding it down, bro. We gotta talk, man. I like what Florida's doing. There's a few places I'm very impressed with how they're handling this whole situation. I'm loving it, man. A lot more people are standing up. Just riding around town with my new private plates got from Bad Wolf. Yeah, I'm about to get some new plates too. I'm about to grab some new plates also, man. I don't know which ones I'm gonna get yet, but I'm gonna grab something specific because I was talking to my man Unc, and he actually did something real interesting with his private plates. He went ahead and got his private trust, his personal conveyance put in his private trust, so it's private trust property, and then he put a part of the trust EIN on just a part of it on the tag. So that was pretty smart. I think it was the last four digits or something like that. That was smart. I was like, damn. I ain't even thinking, but you can really get creative with this stuff, man. If you really start to learn how this stuff works, you can get creative with it. And it's all legit. I'm learning a lot from you, man. Yahshua bless you all. Thank you, man. Thank you. That's why we here to help, man. That's all I'm here to do, bro. I always like talking to people and like to educate and give them what I know. Phone in on phone in. What up, nostalgia, man? That's my man's right there. Shout out to my man's on phone in grave. Finest thing walking. That's my man's. I owe him a great debt of gratitude. My man helped me get to where I am today with the 1,000. He actually pushed a lot of his subscribers to come down and bless me. I'm very grateful for that. Any chance you get to check my man out, subscribe to his channel and tune in. Drop some comments, send him some super chats and all that stuff. Hit my man up and put some money in his pocket because that dude is making moves. Much respect. Shout out to finest thing walking. Call. What up, man? What up? What up? What up again? Yes, sir. Nevada. Okay, that's what it is from Nevada. All right. So look, I'm gonna say this. All right. We all heard, and we're gonna get to some other stuff, the other stuff later on, because I got a few things I want to show y'all too. But we're gonna get into this Joe Biden thing. Joe Biden. So we already know that the United States is a corporation pretending to be a government, and they're basically trying to scare people into capitulation with these vaccines. We already know that. We already know what's good with it. You know, we already know that shit don't apply to us as nationals, foreign nationals, state citizens, American nationals, whatever you call yourself. We're in a different category from that. So we already know that shit don't apply to us. Now, people have been expressing concern about being fired. If you haven't heard about, I think 2 days or 3 days ago now, Joe Biden released a executive order basically saying in November, I think it is, that kicks in, saying that if you do not have, if you have, wait a minute, it's if you have over 100 employees, if you work federally, first off, you got to get the vaccine. Period. The end. That's what he says. That's what the mandate says. The executive order says. If you are property pretty much of the state, you have to get the vaccine. If you have over 100 employees, you have to. It's mandated that you have to make sure all your employees get the vaccine. So that's what time it is for that. So I was talking to a few of my buddies who talk about stuff like this. And it was like, yo, it's ways around that. You can really just have everybody get an EIN, set up their own stuff, and come in as a person, as a contractor. That's completely separate for real. Now that, hold on, let me catch this real quick. I like to travel. Now that you travel, what do you do about insurance thing? All right, so look, we'll talk about that later. We got a lot of other stuff to cover today. We're not gonna talk about that just yet. So bam, so with the Joe Biden thing, yeah, so with that situation with the vaccine, people are starting to like really think about, yo, hold on, man, we gotta really pick a side. But at the end of the day, we called this last year. I knew this was gonna happen as soon as they said the first case hit United States of America last year. I remember when they said it, I was like, yeah, they're gonna try to push that vaccine. Vaccine is the next thing. It's gonna be the vaccine. That's what I said. There's gonna be a verification of vaccine of some sort to know you got it, basically. Then they're gonna do like a RFID chip of some sort. And it might even be one of those, which we'll talk about later. We'll talk about the QR code too. We'll talk about that later on. But I got some information about that also. But yeah, so the whole thing with the Joe Biden situation, man, it's crazy because people are surprised at this. Meanwhile, we've been telling them this was going to happen for the longest time, and nobody was listening. And it's gotten to the point where I don't even tell people, dude. I got so frustrated last year, bro. I told y'all this before. I actually got mentally disturbed by how many people were going along with this narrative and were not doing their own research. It bothered me because a lot of people I thought were smart, it turns out they weren't. I was like, yo, hold on, yo. This dude I consider to be just as intelligent or smart as I am, but yet he's just going along with the narrative like it's nothing. He's not even considering the fact this don't make sense. And that bothered me, man. So it is what it is, though, man. You already know. You already know what it is. So with that whole entire situation with these vaccines, these mandates, man, we've been talking about this for a while. If they start mandating situations where you can't go buy groceries and stuff like that without getting the vaccine, there's always ways around. As long as there's the functional system of uh what is it, money of account or money of exchange, there's ways around. Um, we already talked about the farmers market. If you live near the country, if you live at least a half hour or so, or maybe an hour away from the country, find out where your local farmers market is. Because a lot of those farmers markets, they ain't turning down no business because they need the business. You know, it's not going to be like a situation where Walmart or something like that. You shouldn't even be shopping at Walmart for food anyway. If you shopping at Walmart for food, God bless you. Because that shit food. Like that shit ain't food, bro. So, hey, if you shopping at Giant or Super Fresh or any of them other places, I know some people live in the South and West Kroger's, any of them other places that they have groceries from that have over, it's basically a corporation of such. If you shop at those places, that's going to be something you're going to have to really think about. So start looking at your farmers market, start looking at growing food, get with your community, talk to people who think likewise. If there's any around your neighborhood, and start talking about community planting. You guys can start a community garden and everybody can pitch in something and you can have over 15 different vegetables in one crop and you guys can all eat from that. And you got to find some viable form of protection because them goddamn groundhogs or whatever the hell, gophers, man, they'll tear your veggies up, bro. Let me tell you, them gophers ain't no joke. They will tear your crops up. So, get with people. I mean, we live in an age of information. There's literally no reason that you can't get online and see how all this stuff is done. You got professionals. You can literally learn how to do anything on YouTube. There's no reason that we should be ignorant out here, man. So I'll be learning all this stuff about traveling, about law, and all this other good stuff, man. Make sure we get with the program in terms of this planting food and being able to supply for ourselves. Because at the end of the day, we only got us. And we ain't got the government is basically trying to control us. They want us to basically identify as U.S. citizens. But as long as we think independently and stick together, we'll be fine, man. We'll pull through this just fine. But you can't go with the herd. You got to do the opposite of what everybody else is doing. Because people are fucking stupid right now. All right. William Warner, what's up, man? Saw that. I'm going to skip that. We'll come back to that later. Nostalgia, October 15th. Yeah, that's what it is. Not November, October. My bad. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for correcting me on that. I heard post office employees are exempt from the shop mandate. Not sure if it's true, though. I need to ask my sister because she's actually in the post office. Yo, Dion the Hebrew. What up with you, man? I was glad to see you stop through, bro. Let me tell you about Dion the Hebrew, man. This dude was one of the original people that put up a video that proved the do not detain list does work. So like if you jump on his channel, you'll see him getting pulled over and the state citizen passport he used, what he called it, it worked for him. So yes, we are out here sliding and gliding. If you don't get the vaccine, you can't have government support. Good. So that means, this is actually a good thing, yo. Think about this for a minute. If we don't get the vaccine, there's no fucking way they could try to say you're a U.S. citizen. Well, I don't have a vaccine and I don't get any support from you. I don't need nothing from you. So therefore, you don't have any jurisdiction over me. This will completely annihilate their jurisdiction argument. This is actually a good thing if we know how to carry ourselves. If we don't get the vaccine, we can't have support from the government. You already know how we move it anyway, so it is what it is. He's foreign immigrants, so delusional legislative body has full authority over all these third-party entities. They collect a stipend money from the trust. They must follow legislative procedures. Yeah, man. So it's a whole process of goofiness, if you would put it that way. But my man nailed it right on the head. John Mello, he basically nailed it. So yeah. All these bots and these people who are basically just goddamn like CPUs and shit, computer, and what is it? Non-playable characters, NPCs. They're just going along with the program, plugged into the Matrix, and just doing whatever the Matrix tells them to do. It is what it is, man. We already knew this was going to happen. Nothing surprising. Let's not act like we're worried about this because we've been planning for this. If you do not have your own food growing, heirloom seeds that you can order offline, see if you can still get them, because I don't even know if you can get them anymore because they really cracking down. I've heard they're destroying crops too. I think we talked about that last time. I heard they were destroying crops in Texas. One of my mans that lives in Houston said he was driving past a field and he basically saw all the crops was destroyed. And he said it from then, from before then, when he drove down the road, it was just completely full of corn and a whole bunch of other stuff. But yeah, man, it's real in the field out here. I'm installing a battery backup with inverter around my furnace and refrigerator with solar panels to charge battery. Yes, sir. Make sure you get yourself some batteries, get some flashlights, get some cameras, embrace your Second Amendment just so you can protect yourself and so you can hunt also. But that's not what the Second Amendment is for. We all know what it's for. We all know what the Second Amendment is for. So let's just say, for those who know, invasion of foreign entities. Let's put it that way, and that's going to be what it is for that. And not we're not us, because we are of the land. We call ourselves foreign national. We're foreign to their jurisdiction, is what it means. The legislative body can revoke the rights and privileges of corporations. Check Article 6. What is that? Actually, that's not 6. That's 11. Section 8, full faith and credit clause applies to all territories. Absolutely. My man knows the Constitution like the back of his hand. Idaho Constitution. Okay. They're spraying crops in Texas. I heard about that. They were threatening to spray the crops with Agent Orange if they didn't plow them down. They said, look, there's two ways we can do it. I think they gave him $10,000 per something. I can't remember what the measurement was, but it was like, I think it was 10 grand per whatever measurement that they knock over and destroy. And they said, we can give you the money, or we can just spray the crops with Agent Orange and you can be fucked either way and not have shit. So it is what it is. That's crazy though. The seed guy, .net for heirloom. Yeah, holla at him, yo. Make sure you get right with them heirloom seeds, man. Because look, if shit does hit the fan, bro, like I said, we all we got. I recorded right to carry at the state assembly. Absolutely, Mr. Werner. Yes, sir. The right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Military is losing faith in the president. Do you think they're going to side with us while China and Taliban prepare for it? And here's an interesting. We're going to segue into another conversation. We're going to segue into another conversation. So I had an interesting conversation with a police officer. All right. And the way it happened was, again, we were out moving around. So I had to take this guy home, and because I basically was doing service for this gentleman. So and he's probably watching, honestly, because I gave him the name of the link and all. So we got into an interesting conversation about Joe Biden and the vaccine, and he was on the same page as I was. He was like, yeah, this is bullshit, such and such, man. I can't wait to leave Maryland. The vaccine is bullshit. Joe Biden's an idiot. People were mad at Trump, but Trump did more than Joe Biden did and such and such. And I was like, you sound like you know what you talk about, bro. Like, I can't even ad-lib nothing you saying because everything you saying is facts. So we got into a conversation, and dude was really just spitting some facts on top of what we already believed. So at this time, I didn't know he was a police officer for real. So he was like, he said something. We started, I think somehow the conversation got into him being a police officer. He was like, yeah, I think it was organizational type thing. So he was like, yeah, man, I'm a police officer. So I see how, the police department is being run. It's like the Illuminati. You got the higher ups that don't say shit to nobody but a selected few people. And then the only people that make it forward and get promoted are people that don't ask questions and just do what they're supposed to do. That's what he said to me. And he's a police officer of Baltimore County, the state, I believe. So he says, yeah, it seems like it's just like it's rigged. So he was like, you'll have one guy that'll come into work late, that'll like not do certain shit, not do certain paperwork right and shit like that, leave his name off, shit like that. But he just doesn't ask no questions and do exactly what he's told to the T. Do exactly what he's told to the T. And he says they give him no static at all. where he was like, if you were somebody that asks questions and thinks for yourself at all and tries to do any independent thought or questions any legal statutes or laws or anything like that, dude said that they will come down on you. They will come down on you. I was like, yo, that's crazy. He was like, yeah, if you the kind of person to think for yourself, you're not gonna get very far because they're gonna stifle your career basically. You're gonna be screwed. So he was like, yeah, man, you really just gotta play ball when you get in these police departments. But we've already known this from the jump. So we started talking about that, and then somehow we got onto him. Uh, Somehow we got to the right to travel. Don't know how I segue. We got into the right to travel. This is where it got interesting. All right. So he says, "Yeah, man, I pulled over some weird guy last week, and he was like the guy he had some crazy plate." And I'm just listening. I'm not saying nothing because you know what we do. And I hadn't even talked to him about this yet. So I'm just listening, like, so he talking like, yeah, he had some weird, crazy plate. When I pulled him over, he had some weird ID from some nation I never heard of. And I said, oh, you mean the Moorish nation? He was like, yeah, that's what it was, the Moorish nation. I was like, okay, what else happened? He was like, yeah, so I basically pulled him over, and this guy had been his license had got suspended or something like that 3 times. I don't know. He said something like that, I think it was. And he says he ended up having to lock him up and tow his car. He arrested him and towed his car. So I was like, oh damn, that's crazy. So he was like, yeah, man, he just asked for a supervisor or whatever like that. So when the supervisor got there, he was like, yo, ain't nothing I could do for you now because the supervisor here. So he says his supervisor told him to tow the car and arrest the guy or whatever. So I was like, well, I mean, he said he kept saying that he kept calling his vehicle a personal conveyance, and he kept saying he wasn't driving, he was traveling. He kept saying he had the right to travel. So I'm just listening because this is the same guy who just said he was talking about the Constitution and all this stuff. And then he turned around and said this. So I'm listening. So then he was like, yeah, man. He said something about having the right to travel. I said, well, I mean, he does have the right to travel. Dawes versus Kent 1958 basically states that, the government can't interfere with your right to travel. It states it black and white. And it says the right to travel is covered in the Constitution under liberties. So he was like, oh, so he was recalibrating at that point. So I mean, dude was a cool dude though, man. And he was like, yo, and my his I think his supervisor was telling me, yeah, something about the sovereign citizen, such and such. They call people sovereign citizens, which there's no such thing as a sovereign citizen. Sovereign citizens is not real. It's something they put on a terrorist watch list, but there's actually court cases saying that the people are sovereign. So we'll get into that another time, but just to put it out there, so dude was a pretty cool guy. So I ended up talking to him. He added me on Instagram. He subscribed to the channel. He might be watching now. He has no desire to go public, which I perfectly understand, or understand, overstand, whatever you want to call it. He has no desire to go public, which is fine. But he did ask me, basically request a private meeting of sorts. So I'm probably gonna end up doing that eventually when I get time, just to talk to him. And he was like, "Yeah, I'll tell you what they tell us to do with people who do stuff like this or whatever." And now keep in mind, he had no mention of the passport or nothing like that. I didn't even get into all that because we pass it. We literally had like a 10, 15-minute conversation, but we was in the passing. It wasn't no stuff where we were stopped for like hours, which would take hours to talk about this stuff, So there you have it. But man, he was a cool guy though. He was like, yeah, I've been meaning to look into the sovereign citizen ideology because I find it very interesting. And the crazy thing is, that's about the fourth police officer I've heard that said they were interested in studying it. And if you look at the Quan X's video, one of the guys who was on my channel on this live stream twice, he basically was talking about that too. And he put up something on his video on his channel, whatever, where the police officer was asking him about the passport card. How'd you do that? Basically, and there's been other police officers too that have done the same thing, just wondering how that's working or whatever. So, the remedy has been there for a while, but people are starting to see what's happening. And who knows, man, maybe this will be the thing to make them actually start reading the damn Constitution. Because too often we have police officers out here that are patrolling, but they aren't really familiar with the Constitution like they should be. You know what I mean? And I told them it's not really fair for police officers because even though they did take an oath to the Constitution, they've been so heavily misled by their handlers. It's not really even fair for them because they're upholding statutes and codes which they believe are law. So if you have a man in Maryland who's bearing arms that doesn't have a permit or doesn't even have let's say the arm isn't stolen, the armor isn't stolen, it isn't he is not an ex-convict or nothing like that, which is bullshit anyway. They shouldn't take your Second Amendment away. But in any case, he doesn't have any of that crap going on, but he doesn't have a license and he doesn't have a license to carry. So this guy gets pulled over because he's bearing arms, basically. This motherfucker gets thrown in jail. What kind of sense does that make? If you were basically put there to uphold the Constitution you swore oath to, meanwhile you locking this man up for bearing arms. We gotta really rethink this shit because it's not making make it make sense. You know what I'm talking about? Make it make sense, man. All right, let's get back to it. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, I said all that to say this basically. So basically, this is where I'm at with it. Police officers starting to ask questions because they're realizing what's happening. The police officers that are awakened, they're realizing what's happening doesn't make sense. And they're starting to ask questions, which is what we needed. We needed something to shake the foundation to get people to start to ask questions because too many people that are intelligent enough to comprehend what's happening were asleep. It's waking people up. People are starting to ask why, and now the answers are starting to come out. Now the case law is starting to apply. Now the Constitution and all, state Constitution, even the Constitution for your state is starting to apply. People are starting to figure this stuff out. And this is great, man. This is a great thing. This is a blessing in disguise. It's going to be a rough ride. It's going to be a rocky road. But I'm telling you, we're going to come out of this stronger than we went in. And that's what it is. All right. But yeah, I think the military is definitely going to side with us. I've talked to a lot of ex-military veterans that had experience over there in Afghanistan. I know a veteran who's about 20, what is he, 29 or maybe 30 years old, basically, that did 2 tours in Afghanistan, I believe. And he was talking about, man, these damn, he was like, they better hope it doesn't. That's what he said. His words, not mine. He was saying they better hope it don't turn into the people against the government, because if it does, they're gonna get fucked up. He said, because we have too many veterans with too much combat experience that can knock the wings off of a fly with a damn 45 while it's flying past them in a gust of wind. He basically said that. He said, nah, it's not, it wouldn't even be fair. So we need to make sure we do this without it coming to that, which I agree with. Don't nobody want war. You know what I mean? We want to be peaceful. What up? Got hammered again. The cops destroyed my passport card and private place. Yeesh. Kevin, you go ahead and jump in the live stream, man. But we got a lot of information to cover. I can't segue just yet. Bad Wolf, what up, man? I got you. Y'all, I'm gonna drop that link. I want you in here too, man. What up, Jimmy? What up with you? The plates are perfect. Yeah, man. I need to get some plates too, man. I need to change my plates. Joe Biden is not a real president. He's the president of a bankrupt corporation. Trump and the military are in control. Research devolution. Okay. Cool. Send me an email, man, if you could, like with that information next. I'm looking at that, Mr. Warner. But yeah, absolutely, man. We do know that the United States is bankrupt and it's a corporation. Joe Biden is nothing but a damn president or CEO or whatever of the corporation. We do know that. That's a fact. And I have heard that Trump was actually an official president. I have heard that. William, insurance isn't an issue. You want to get the lowest amount and then get the umbrella policy on top of that for a few million. Okay. And my man's helping you out because I wasn't going to cover that this time around. I believe it's chapter 214 of the Law of Nations, book by Emerde Vettel, states who the real citizen is. Yes, sir. Man, these guys are so intelligent in this chat, man. Conveyance bond. Yep, he's telling you what to do right there. So I'm not going to cover that. My man's dropping you the knowledge there. Yo, we're going to get to Kevin, yo. Hold on, man. A violator of the oath of office on a daily basis. Actually, before they take you to jail, you post to your judge because you were an insect until proven guilty. Yep. It said insect. Until proven shit. Oh, man, he's going into it. I gave the cop a paper with a passport that says do not detain, do not arrest, etc. It was the first day on campus for college. They hammered the fuck out of me. He destroyed, lost my passport card and plate. Ooh, you got a mean lawsuit on your hands, bro. You better holler at the consultant. You got a nice little lawsuit on your hands with that. Woo, you better walk out, bro. Next time you pull up, you better be pulling up in a Ferrari. I'll tell you that much. You got a nice lawsuit on his hand. Destruction of property? Ooh. Deprivation of rights on the color of law? Ooh. You better look up 18 USC title 242. You had two options for plates, folks. One is your own if you own the MCO, MSO, and the other plates are Regulation Z plates. I heard about them Regulation Z plates. I don't know about those. So, all right, let's go ahead and get into this stuff I wanted to drop on you guys real quick. So we know about the let me do this one first. We know about the vaccine mandate that just happened. We know about the uproar it's causing. So let's go ahead and talk about this right here. Wow. Okay, so it says the hospitals to stop delivering babies after 30 staffers quit over vaccine mandate. Ooh, say it ain't so, Joe. Oh, say it ain't so, Joe. Say it ain't so, man. Oh, let me hush this damn thing up. Hold on a sec. I hate these ads that force you to listen to some bullshit you don't give a damn about. But anyway, all right, so look, boom. A hospital in upstate New York will stop delivering babies later this month after 30 staffers quit in protest of the facility's COVID-19 vaccine mandate. Lewis County Health System CEO Gerald Kayer announced at a press conference on Friday that Lewis County General Hospital will be unable to safely staff its maternity department beginning September 25th. The number of resignations received leaves us no choice but to pause delivering babies at Lewis County General Hospital, Care said. The resignations came after the hospital 2 weeks ago revised its emergency regulation requiring vaccines for employees, taking away the option for a religious exemption. Medical exemptions, however, are still permitted. The policy changed. The policy change followed an announcement from the then New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, who got fucking canned, that said all the healthcare workers in the state must be at least partially vaccinated against COVID-19 by September 27th. All right, so look, check this out. Let's talk about this. All right. So Joe Biden then backfired on himself. So we all know the United States is a corporation, and the way they basically stay afloat pretty much is by having the U.S. citizens created in the hospital, which is by the social security numbers and by the birth certificates that have pretty much bond and numbers on them, identifiers and such. So with that said, basically it's commerce. So you're saying basically that commerce cannot be done in this bread and butter of this country's, excuse me, I bite my tongue, this corporation that's pretending to be a country's um, de facto government. So new citizens are not being created. So basically, new bonds aren't being created with these U.S. citizens not being made. So people are forced. Midwives are probably forced to step in at that point and give birth. People are forced to explore home birthing options, which don't give a birth certificate, pretty much. And if you do home births and things of that nature, it's been said that you can actually use a Bible that has empty pages in it to use that for a birth certificate. All you have to have is 3 witnesses that are there to say that that baby was born that time and to say that that baby is who you say it is and sign off on it. And that constitutes as a birth certificate. And this can be done with a home birth. You do not need a United States corporation birth certificate with all capitals as a straw man. You do not need that. It's not necessary. So, interesting because Babylon's definitely fucking falling. It's hilarious. We all saw this coming. The stuff they do to people, forcing people to into their jurisdiction. This is all violations of natural law. It's a violation of the universal law, pretty much. You can't force somebody to contract. They have to willingly contract. If someone says they don't consent or something like that, and you force the issue, you're violating natural law. In which case, there are consequences for that. And it sounds like pretty much what's happening is the whole shit is dropping upside down on its head. Man, y'all having a nice little conversation in this comment section, bro. God damn. I need to. I want to follow y'all, man, but I'm trying to drop some info with y'all real quick. All right, let's move this out of the way. All right, so let's go here real quick because it's looking like I'm gonna have to segue and drop this link in here because y'all want to hear about that. So we're gonna have to let me get this info out real quick. All right, so boom. Anybody that's been writing these letters out to these companies, if you've been doing bills of exchange, or if you've been putting people on notice or putting those persons on notice about your status or such, and they haven't been giving you any response, check this out right here. This is UCC 1202, Notice of Knowledge. All right, so you can look down through this real quick, and this basically tells you, how to deal with such. as far as notices goes. This is UCC 1202, notice knowledge. So whenever you sent that letter out to the chief of police and you never got a response back, violation and a dishonor. And that dishonor can be rectified. You got to get a little bit creative. So there you have it. UCC 1202. Take the note down if you don't have it. If you are watching this as a replay, go ahead and hit the pause button and mark that down on your notepad. It's something to look into. All right. All right. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. All right, now this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Now we've been seeing these QR codes everywhere. When we go into restaurants and things like that, they don't want to give you a paper menu anymore. Everything is switching over digital. It's all going to get to the point where you got an RFID chip in your wrist and everything is digital. Menus and all that stuff, everything is going to be digital to the point where you don't need paper for anything if you decide to take part in this experiment, pretty much. So let's talk about this right here. This is a QR code, but this is an unusual QR code because this thing is ancient. Ancient Mayan statue found with a QR code on its face. Warning by mysterious civilization. Boom. Boom. Look at this. This is in New Delhi. Most Mayan ruins have already unearthed and have been already unearthed, and their treasures has been placed in museums not only in Mexico but all around the world since the Mayan civilizations is one of the most interesting and mysterious civilizations that ever preceded us. However, something completely amazed experts when they stumbled upon a statue with a QR code face. Woo, say it ain't so. You mean to tell me this technology's been around all this time? This isn't new technology. You mean to tell me this technology existed thousands of years before we were here? Well, wait a minute. I thought it was new. I thought all this stuff was cutting edge. Absolutely not. There's nothing new under the sun. How can we explain such a thing? Is this another evidence that the extraterrestrial race established contact with an ancient civilization? Or maybe the Mayans were aliens themselves? As you can see, the face of the statue the face of the statue is just a flat square tablet that looks exactly like the same kind of QR that we use nowadays. One possible answer to this enigma is that the purpose of that engraved code was to unveil some kind of message or secret to the people from the future. So boom, you can look up into this if you want to on your own, but this is all this stuff is ancient technology. None of this stuff is new, man. This is all ancient technology. All of this stuff is old news. So there you have it. Look into that yourself with the Mayan statue that had a QR code on the face. So I mean, this is the society want to get you to. When I went to Texas, man, they had doors were being opened by just waving your hand from motion sensor, basically. That's gonna transfer. That's gonna translate. And they're going to put that as an RID chip that you have. If you stay in a hotel, the information will be uploaded in your RID chip so that should you choose to get one. And when you go to a hotel, you're not going to be able to get in that hotel unless you have an RFID chip or unless you have business there of some sort. So you'll be able to go upstairs for the elevator. They had the first floor elevator wouldn't go up to the second floor of any subsidiary floors unless you had a card with a hotel room key or whatever. And then you put that in the elevator and it beeps and then it lets you go up to your room, basically. So maybe they'll do that with your wrist if you decide to take part in that experiment. But absolutely, this is the direction we're moving in. Or not weird, they're moving in. Because I don't know part of that shit. This is what I'm going to end up doing, to be honest with you guys. I'm probably going to end up being this guy right here. I'm probably going to end up doing this real quick. Take my headphones off.
Get started, where is it going, and how can you actually be a part of it? Our first stop was at the most recent Earthship construction site, where we met Mike Reynolds, who is proudly responsible for all of this. In his eyes, he's found an answer. This does not look like a typical work site.
Yeah, well, this is our main structural material. It's tires. We have to register.
So let me tell you, man, tires are very hard to dispose of because once they're composed, you got to recycle them by reusing them for other shit. But as far as destroying them, it's super bad for the air because they release hella toxins when you burn them. And you really can't do shit else with them but shred them and reuse them of some sort. So Tires are a pain in the ass after they're created. We literally got like millions of tires just laying around everywhere. So these guys found a way to put tires to use.
Every build site has a waste dump.
Really?
That's how ridiculous it is.
So this is a waste dump.
This is a waste dump. It is still harder to get a permit for a sustainable, absolutely off-the-grid building than it is for a frame cracker box. You know, I wrote a law called the New Mexico Sustainable Testing Sites Act.
It's true, he did. But if we're going to go down that hole, we're going to need a little history. As suburbia flourished and America blossomed, Mike recognized what was coming.
And there is no one factor more representative of the economic well-being of the American citizen than the home in which he lives.
Are we going fast
Mexico
forward
is the
because
state where they tested the atomic.
we need to be
2
talking
weeks
about
after
how they building these bad boys.
firework to get it to the next level.
They got
Start
like
throwing
greenhouses
mud,
in
or,
here and
you know,
everything to
mud
grow
on there.
stuff.
It ends up being a mud plastered wall. This is pretty cool. Like the first thing that we had on this site was that box with that stuff in it. And we plugged in our cement mixer and we plugged in our saws and we built a house. We brought our power to the house. There's the thing that'll take care of people shining down from the sky.
I don't think if someone didn't know what these are, they would land on that's a house.
No, probably not. Because a house, to me, a house that's a piece of shit. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be a house. That mound of dirt over there will take care of you. I need to go talk to that guy that's just pulled up behind that building because he doesn't know what he's doing right now. So, right on. I'm going to go do that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, Galen. Sorry.
So they got a whole community of off-grid houses they build out of tires and bottles and stuff like that and cans. And this is all in what is this?
You don't want
this
this,
is
because this will just cave in anyway. You got to give this a slope from here to here. Got it? Okay, good job.
But yeah, they got a whole community, man. Where they building off-grid houses and stuff like that, and they living. So it's looking like what's going to end up happening, man. Those who don't want to take the mark of the beast, we're going to end up having to be the only ones that's basically out there doing the damn thing. But you know, all part of the tour. That's all part of the movement. But it is what it is. All right, so look, I'm gonna do this real quick because I know you guys are interested in hearing about it. And I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of interested in hearing about this too. And Bad Wolf is trying to get in here. He's on standby, so I'm gonna drop this link. Kevin, you can hop in. I want you to tell me what happened with your whole situation. I got some information for you. And Bad Wolf, you can hop in also, and whoever else wants to hop in. So here's the link right here, and now we get busy. All right, there's a link right there. So as you guys know, if you don't know who Kevin is a guy, a longtime follower. Kevin is originally from Africa. He wasn't born on the soil here, which I think that might have something to do with why he's having so many problems too. But Kevin's been harassed by operatives 3 times now. And first time they just gave him a bunch of shit. The consultant got him out of it. Second time, he ended up getting hemmed up and locked up. And this time he said he got hemmed up again. So there's the link in the chat. Drop in. Let me hear what you guys are talking about, what happened with that. Bad Wolf, if you hear, you can jump in too. Meanwhile, let me hop on these comments again. I just dropped a whole lot of damn information. I had to cram the shit because there's so much stuff happening in this comment section. I'm not trying to miss nothing. All right. We got Kevin in. What up, Kevin? How you feeling?
Oh, yeah. What up? I'm good.
All right, man. What happened, yo?
What happened?
Break it down.
Well, so first day on campus, right? I'm pulling up, traveling, just traveling. I pulled up and he saw me and he was like, all right. He did not waste any time, bro. He turned on his shit right when he saw me, right? So I was like, all right. I pulled over, and gave him the passport card. And I actually did I don't know what his name was, but you know how he had the card and then like he wrote "Do not detain," "Do not," all that, just
Okay.
to kind of just to kind of like show that you know who you are. So I did that, gave it to him. He ran my card and everything, and he knew. So yeah, and the crazy and he came up to me, right, and he was like, "Hey, you know, I'm not dealing with this sovereign citizen crap." So like right off that bat, you know, he was like, "Ah, okay, this kid is probably like yeah, one of them." So I think what he did again was because again, I have a permit in the system, and like it's not valid for identity or a license or anything, right? So I think he looked that up, and the crazy thing is, right? So yeah, so so basically they hammered the fuck out of me, you know, opened my door, you know, got me out, arrested me, all that shit, and brought me behind the car, right? And the crazy thing was, right, when I was behind the car, right,
Whoa,
it said,
whoa. You're saying you gave him the passport card.
yep,
He saw your status and told you he's not dealing with that shit.
yep. He said, I'm not dealing with the sovereign citizen crap. Yep. He saw the do not detain, and he knew I know, and he knew it.
So why did he pull you out of the car?
Dude, I don't know. And
Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you, Kevin. I think you an asshole. I think you
No,
being
no.
an asshole to these guys, yo. There
No,
ain't
no,
no
no.
way, yo.
I have the video.
Ain't nobody looked that bad, yo.
I have the video. Listen. So
I
what
think
he
you be
did?
saying some smart ass shit to people.
No,
Like,
no,
yo, who
no,
the fuck
no.
are you
So
talking to like that?
no. So like, what he did was like he looked up my my permit, because you know I had a permit in the system. It's
Okay.
not valid for a license, ID or anything, but like it's a permit in there. And like when I was in the car and I saw the permit, right, it said armed and dangerous on that shit, bro. And I'm like, I've only been
It said
pulled over.
armed and dangerous.
Yeah, bro. It said armed and dangerous, and I've only been pulled over like
On,
two
on, on,
times.
armed and dangerous on what?
I don't fucking
On
know.
your
That's what.
permit or your passport card?
No, on the permit, like the license permit for
Oh
the
shit.
state. Yeah, and like I'm like I've only been pulled over by two different cops. You know, the one from the first two times, those guys, and this guy right here. So I'm thinking like, you know, the like one of those guys from the first time, they must have like put some shit in to kind of, I don't know, get them going. Cause again, when they pulled me over the first two times, you know, I didn't have any guns or anything like that, and like I wasn't, you know, being crazy or nothing like that. So I'm like, damn, like they really like putting shit like on people just to kind of, you know, I don't know, get these cops going. I don't know. Hey, I think that's what's going on. Cause
I'm
when
gonna be
he,
honest with you, bro. I think it's a combination of things. I think it's how you handling these situations when you get pulled over. I think you might be arrogant, and I also think you might not be classified as a state citizen because you're not from the United States of America. That might have something to do with it.
well,
Did you ever check that to be sure?
yeah. So no, like they gave me the passport and everything, and I know for sure because when he was doing this report or whatever, or whatever, right? He had the passport, and I was talking to him like, hey, so you swept the passport, you saw the do not detain, do not all of that, right? And he would not answer. He was like he would not answer. So I know he saw it. I know he saw it. And the thing was, I saw the passport card with him last, right? I saw the card with him last, and they said they lost my card, bro. They said they lost it, and like they brought me to the courthouse and everything, and they said the courthouse lost it, but nah, he destroyed the card and he destroyed my the fucking license plate, dude.
They destroyed your plate too.
Yeah,
They
dude,
towed
like
your
the
car.
yeah, they took my car, but you know I got it back and everything. Yeah, like these guys are really out here like trying to get me again. I'm I just don't know why it said armed and dangerous on that shit. Cause I've only been pulled over 3 times. First two guys and this guy. So I'm thinking like these, you know, they be doing shit like this. I mean, I don't know. I don't fucking know.
I don't know. Like I said, man, I already said what I think. I think you probably got temper, bro. Like I done heard how you talk to police coming out of court.
Bruh, I have the
I got
video.
a temper, yo.
I have the video, dude. And like
But post that shit, man. You ain't posted last week. You said you was gonna post the last one. You ain't posted though.
like that's the craziest thing to me when they said armed and dangerous. That's when I saw like armed, bro. What the fuck? Like where the fuck did he get that from? You know, like it must have been from the, I don't know, other guy or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's how it went down. They brought me to the courthouse, you know, talked to the judge and everything, and they said I could pay it off or have a trial. So we'll see about that. And
You got
yeah,
2 trials. You got trial for the other thing too, right?
Yeah, I'm just crazy. You said that shit, armed and dangerous. Like armed, the fuck? I'm like, the fuck? Okay, I mean,
Yeah,
so
that's
yeah,
interesting. That's interesting. I don't know. So
that's
that's
how
very interesting. They put that on your
permit on the
permit.
permit.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the state permit. I'm like, bro, okay. I mean, I
You might want to
get that
consider.
shit out. I gotta get that shit out. That's the thing.
You might, yeah, it's definitely a lawsuit. Absolutely, Warren made a good point. There's definitely a lawsuit in place. If you have experience in getting police officers' bond numbers and all that, so you might want to do that, and you might want to put the smackdown on them legally with their legal system that they have to adhere to. You might want to do that, and
Right,
of
like
course,
right now, I just gotta go with a suit because like I don't know,
that's a
it's getting
tort claim. And the thing about a tort claim is the force ain't going back. I'll be telling, and that's another thing I told that cop. I had a conversation with him. I was like, "Yo, you up here you out here upholding these statutes and these you know these little artificial laws and color of law things. But if you get hemmed up with a tort claim, the police force ain't gonna help you, and the court not gonna help you. You gonna be out there in front of that motherfucking judge on your own because you acted in your private capacity as opposed to acting as your delegated authority, which is to protect the Constitution. So the fact that they lost your shit and the fact, yo, that's a
him.
mean lawsuit.
He
If you
didn't.
know how to do it.
He did not lose the card, bro. He said he lost. Like he said, oh, he gave it to the guys at the lockup for the court, but he said they lost it. But again, those guys have no reason to lose my shit, you know. So yeah, he definitely destroyed the card. I mean, he destroyed the play. I mean, what makes you think he won't go and destroy the card? You
You
know,
saw him destroy the plate.
he like when I was behind the in the cop car, he said, "Hey yo, give me a screwdriver, let me take this shit off, bro." Like like I heard him say that. So yeah, I know they destroyed the plate. So I mean, destroy the plate, destroy the card. Fucking. So yeah, I'm using my passport book now.
Well, okay. I know.
Fucking hell.
Good luck, man. You gotta check your temper, bro. You gonna end up getting a bullet in your face. You better chill out with that shit. These motherfuckers ain't playing out here, bro. They'll do that shit and cover that shit up. You better chill. Facts. I'm telling you some real shit. You better chill out, man. When you're
Yeah.
dealing with these officers, bro, you got to deal with them like you are, like it's a business. You can't be just like, you motherfucker, you can't do shit to me. I'm a state citizen. Nah, you gotta be chill with it, bro. You see how I dealt with him when I got pulled over them 3 times. Even when the dude was being a dick, your words should be little to none. You shouldn't be saying hardly nothing. Let the passport card talk for itself. If you keep asking you shit, just keep repeating yourself. I'm a foreign national. I'm a foreign national. Don't get an attitude. Don't raise your voice. Because I'm going to tell you something, bro. You hear what that cop said? He basically said they run that shit like the Illuminati out that motherfucker. For real. And you'll fuck around and go missing out that bitch. And the footage will go missing too. You hear about them police deleting footage and shit and muting that goddamn microphone? It ain't nothing for them to do that. You better chill, man. I'm telling you. You young, yo. I'm 36 years old, bro. I was where you at when I was younger, and I learned a little bit of shit about getting pulled over and shit like that. I was like that too. I had a big ass mouth. And I used to always talk shit to police. I knew they couldn't do shit. This one police officer told me, he had literally told me this. He was like, yo, he was like, you got a big mouth, but let me tell you what happens to people who got big mouths. People who got big mouths get found in a lake. That's what he told me. After that point, I wasn't arguing with no more police no more, even when I ain't know shit about none of this stuff. You got to take this stuff in stride. You can't be all arrogant and stuff like that, man. You got to pace yourself. Last thing I want to hear is something happening to you because some rogue police officer decided to get at you. And don't forget, when they pull your information, they know where you live too. So you better chill, man. Be careful with that. Yes, we all have rights. I understand. We need to stand up for ourselves, but there's a way to do this. We're not at that point. We're not there yet. Just be chill, man. For real. Let's get some of these comments in. Kevin, for your information, don't file your affidavit of repudiation yet. You need to be domiciled in the United States of America for 7 years in your state to make a claim.
Yeah, I have. I've been in US for like USA for 10 years now, about 10 years. So yeah.
Yeah, that's charged them with false imprisonment, kidnapping, false arrest. That's 18 United States Code Title 242, deprivation of rights under color of law. They kidnapped you and they also destroyed your property too. I think property is in it. Matter of fact, let's revisit that then. Let's revisit that.
Bro, they destroyed government property. They destroyed the fucking passport.
And we still gonna go back and review this motherfucker though, because whoever didn't see it needs to know this. So here we go. This is your remedy for police officers overstepping jurisdiction. 18 United States Code Title 242, deprivation of rights on the color of law. Let's go. Whoever under any color of law, statute, ordinance, regulation, or custom willfully subjects any person in any state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district to the deprivation of any rights, privileges, or immunities secured or protected by the Constitution or laws of the United States, or to different punishments, pains, or penalties on account of such person being an alien, or by reason of his color, race, than are prescribed for punishment of citizens shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 1 year or both. And if bodily injury results from the acts committed in violation of this section, or if such acts include the use, attempted use, or threatened use of dangerous weapons, explosives, or fire, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both. And if death results from the acts committed in violation of this section, or if such acts includes kidnapping or an attempt to kidnap, aggravated sexual abuse, or an attempt to commit aggravated sexual abuse, or an attempt to kill, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned for any term of years or for life or both, or may be sentenced to death. Doesn't say anything about property in there, interestingly enough, but yeah, so there you have it. You need to look into that, man. That's what you need to be looking into. Deprivation of rights on the color of law.
I'm just chilling now, I'm not trying to, just chilling.
I respect it. I respect it, man. Say state national throughout the word citizen. Yeah, I don't fuck with the citizen shit at all. I don't say that. It's his car in a trust. That's the good. Did you put your car in a private trust?
Yeah.
Oh shit! So they basically violated trust too.
Dude, I told him it was in a foreign trust too. So yeah, I told him. I mean, I shouldn't have again. Yeah, but whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, they can't lawfully. They stole your shit. They stole your car. I got to look up the United States Code for that too. If the American State Assembly has a document for people that came from other countries, so it makes them domiciled in that state. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I know that was a 7-year thing. Yeah, I know that was a 7-year thing for people from other countries. Kevin is fine, but there's certain wording that needs to be in the affidavit of repudiation for folks not born in the land of USA. Yeah, it's unfortunate, man, and I hate to hear it, man. But you gotta chill, man. You gotta chill, bro. Relax. Don't be arguing. You can't act like a debtor, bro. If you act like a debtor, they're gonna treat you like a debtor. Stay in honor, bro.
I was always like chill, and like if he tried to ask me a question, I would always try to respond, but like I wouldn't do it like belligerently or anything like that. Again, I always responded to his question, which I guess is not good or anything or something like that.
Yeah, you got all that question shit dead, man.
I mean, like I answered them like right, but again, I shouldn't have answered them. But yeah.
All that question shit dead, man. Like I said, bro, let the chips fall where they may. If you're gonna violate your rights, let them violate them. Don't give no resistance. Let them violate your rights. All right, I see somebody, Zay, trying to jump in, but I can't add you because you don't have a video. It's not gonna let me add you in the stream. You gotta put that camera on, Zay. I'll let you in, but you gotta throw that camera on. All right, let's see here. Mr. Passive Aggressive, you should be having a warning to all agents paperwork. Does the talking for you. Yeah, you ought to do that, and you need to do an injunction too, bro, because if you're going to be out there talking shit, you need to be covered, bro, because the passport's going to tell them what to do, but, I mean, they might try to overstep that shit, you feel me? And without further ado, you need to do an injunction too, bro, because if you're going to be out there talking shit, you need to be covered, bro, because the passport's going to tell them what to do, but, I mean, they might try to overstep that shit. Yeah, I mean echo, Bad Wolf.
All right, 1 second.
And without further ado, do that. Bet. All right, yeah, but yeah, man, you gotta you might want to look into the injunction, Kevin, because they kicking your ass. I ain't gonna lie, bro. They kicking your ass, bro. They kicking your ass because they keep charging you toll fees. I know toll fees are at least $250 to $300.
Yeah, like I paid what is it? $402 the other day. Oof, that's not good.
Toll fees, they charge you $250 to $300 for that. Then you got to pay court fees and stuff like that, and they taking you to jail. They kicking your ass, bro. Now you gotta get another passport card. They beating your ass.
Yeah, I know, and like right now, that's gonna be. I mean, I can get it. It just might be a problem because I don't have any other IDs or anything. So yeah.
Hey, yeah.
So yeah, he really wanted to like I don't know. He just really wanted to. I don't fucking know. And he was like mad old and shit. Like I don't know, 57 or something. Probably ex-military.
Yeah, and he also felt like because you was younger than him, you didn't know shit and he knew shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, I tried not to say, prove I know shit, but I try to. I don't know. I just try my best. Fucking hell.
Yep. Well, I mean, that's the way the cookie crumbles, I suppose.
How it goes.
Yep. And we already know what war we fight. No, this is a war for freedom. Unfortunately, we don't want it to be a damn war. They're waging war against freedom, basically. And you can see with all the decisions they're making against freedoms every day and pissing all over the Constitution and trying to force you to be a U.S. citizen of how they treat you. So the man says a state citizen is a state national that works for a government like a mayor. After your term, you are then again a state national. Okay. Kevin, read a treatise on arrest and false imprisonment, Charles A. Wiseman. Shit, I'm gonna read that. What do you mean, Kevin? I'm reading that.
Yo, Bad Wolf. Oh yeah, and the other thing is, right? I sent in the letter to DMV and all of that to take away my license about a month ago, bro. And they refuse it, bro. Like these motherfuckers are literally like they just keeping me, bro. Like they are like I don't know, like these guys are just not letting go.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Massachusetts is very dirty. I mean, this is what I'm gonna tell you. If you look at a state of whatever, and you see how strict the bearing arms laws are, if they very strict, they dirty. If you go to a place like Texas, where constitutional carry is a thing, you can just you don't even have to have a license to buy an arm. You can just go in there, get an arm, and just bear arms when you walk out on your hip, whatever. No, nothing. No, you don't need no permits, none of that shit. But in an area like Massachusetts, where like fuck it, you gotta have you gotta be like registered to even buy an AR-15, which is crazy. Like that's bullshit. That ain't even that bad, shit. But yeah, the worse the Second Amendment is infringed upon, the worse the state is, basically. Let's put it that way.
Yep. Like they refuse to let go of my license. Like they just want to keep it in there.
You don't have a license though. I thought you had a permit.
Yeah. It's a permit, but like in the system, it looks like a license, and like it kind of mimics everything it does, but it's just not there yet.
Well, I mean, I'd be honest with you, man. It sounds like you ain't gone through the proper channels to get that shit removed either, yo. Because if you did the right paperwork and you filed a recension of signature and they didn't pull it out, if you even holler at the Bad Wolf and go to Black Site 32. He's got one on there where basically says if you leave it on there, if you want to leave it on there, that's fine. But if I get hemmed up because you left the information in your system, you agree to be sued. So that's what you need to be doing. You need to be starting the tort claim process because they fucking you. They know you're not going to do shit.
See, the whole thing is that really nobody should do right to travel until you've gotten everything out of the system. And you really should, if you didn't, have sent a letter to the chief of police letting them know what's going on before even doing right to travel, and then creating your own plate and, you can send all that to the attorney general. You can still send it all to the attorney general right now and let them know. Just because if anything is in the system, they're going to pull any of that old information and they're going to use that as an excuse to be able to claim jurisdiction. So that's the problem. And then, with you being young, and I don't know you that well, but from what I hear, you kind of got the words down for these people. Once they peg you as somebody that, they can bother, you know what I mean? And you don't have everything down, icy and locked up. Like they're gonna pick on you because, like I said, people keep asking me, they're like, aren't you worried about them bothering you? No, because I'm the wolf already outside of the yard. I got out.
Right, exactly.
The people that they hammer are the ones who are trying to get out. They're the ones looking at the hole in the fence going, I wonder if I should do that. I'm going to try. And babbity bat bat, they're going to, smack you to keep you in
smack
there.
Your head while you're reaching to unlock the gate. Pop, put your hand back. Yep.
And try to break your will.
Yep. That's all it is, man. You saw what happened to me the first time, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Like ever since that first time I got pulled over and the dude tried to give me a bunch of shit. and I ended up getting through it, and I didn't lose my temper or nothing like that. I haven't really had no issues. I've had a few police officers behind me since then. None of them have pulled me over.
So, so if you didn't contact the chief of police, you got to go to the boss's bosses. You don't deal with the low level functionaries. You can't be sitting on the side of the road arguing with these police officers. Some are good, some are bad, some are ignorant, some know exactly what's going on and will be chill with you. But if you're always in the same area and you get off to a bad start with one in your local area, they're always going to know you're there. And they can put tags in on your information and to say, okay, watch out for this guy. He's one of the sovereign citizens. Yep. So immediately when any of them pull your information, your VIN should be covered in your window. Never have their plates on there. Don't have the driver's license. Don't make copies of stuff. Give them the real, passport, book, or card. And the first thing out of your mouth when they start, actually, they're supposed to, the first thing they're supposed to ask you is, what is your citizenship? That's the first thing they're supposed to ask you when they deal with you. It says it right in their manuals, but they don't do that. They bypass that to already assume that you are a U.S. citizen, and so so they're going to believe that they can do whatever they want to do. So the first thing you got to tell them is, hey, I'm a foreign national. How can I help you? And then,
it's all about commerce. It's a commerce, man.
Yeah. So so
hey, let me take some comments, man, because we behind. Hold on.
They literally says the foreign national on it. Again, they knew and everything. A state trooper came over, so and I know that he knew because he was kind of I don't know. He didn't want to do anything because he was a state trooper and it was a campus. So he just said, I'm gonna just leave them to it. So yeah, I knew he knew, but again, he wouldn't do anything. It said foreign national right on the plate, and when I wrote it down, I even wrote the word foreign national, and I told him.
All right, yo. So look, I'm gonna take some more comments. All right. So my man said, we know what the UScourts.gov forums/law enforcement, grand jury, and prosecution forums. All right, there's information if you need it. Consultant, what up, man? The link's up. If you scroll up, the link is there if you want to jump in. If not, you can just chill and see the show. Kevin got hemmed up again. The Norton versus Shelby County, 118 US 425, page 442. Which one is that? I need to look into that. What up, Tony? How you feeling, man? Blue states are controlled by communists. Absolutely. Maryland is not as bad as Massachusetts. I will say that. Maryland is. I feel like there's a power struggle going on here. It's like people are starting to see shit the other way. You know what I mean? Even though red and blue are both fucking two
heads of the same snake.
Yeah, it's the same shit, really. But MR host on this topic of gun Second Amendments is all and good to the ears of folks here, but you're missing the fact they can do this based on one's tacit agreement, aka citizen, person, resident. I mean, yeah, but like I said, man, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Yes, you do have the right to bear arms, but if you get hemmed up and you're not basically following the statutes and codes, you better be ready to defend that shit. Because once you get in front of a fucking judge, you ain't got no computer in front of you. All you got is this. You better be ready to defend it. And that's all there is to it. They're not party to the Constitution. Yep. Any vehicle in a trust, insurance will not insure it and not insure it, nor will the state register it. That's facts. Yeah, but I saw you trying to get in nostalgia. You dropped out. I added you in. Citizens live under laws of Congress. We, the people, live under guard rights. Yep. That are conformed under the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. Absolutely. We agree with that. No issue here insuring one. Oh, you need. Okay, so you can insure it and trust then. Drop the knowledge. Drop the science, man. About to get a townhouse in Raleigh, North Carolina. Hey, yo, I'm going to tell you, bro. It's looking like with these mandates, North Carolina's not on board with the resistance of that shit. The places, matter of fact, I had this shit right on my phone. There's a few places that are mostly red states that are fighting back against these vaccine mandates that Joe Biden basically said that the people had to get. I have I actually got the map here. I got to send it to my email. Maybe I'll do that while one of you guys are talking. Yeah, I'll do that in a minute. Yeah, New York is wild, bro. I can't fuck with New York, man. I won't even come up to New York to visit. My man live up in New York for real. He does a lot of street racing and shit up there. He keep wanting me to come out. I said, bro, I ain't coming up New York. I am not taking my private conveyance to New York. Fuck that. I ain't with it. statutes, codes, and regulations, yada yada, for members of the corporation. Yeah, I try explaining that to a cop on the side of the road though. That's trying to. That's right. That's right. We know this, yo. We already know this. All of these laws and shit that's quasi laws or whatever, pretty much are all for U.S. citizens, employees, and shit. But they don't know that. That's the problem.
Right.
They don't know that shit. A lot of nationals out there. That's dope. Yeah, there's a lot of North Carolina nationals for sure. Yes, sir. What's up with you though, Wolf, man? What's the word, man?
Oh man, just trying to find more knowledge out for the people, and put some videos out, and kind of took a little bit of a break to kind of just relax and breathe instead of just eating this every day. Just put the whip in the shop. It was starting looking a little shabby, so I had to get it fixed up.
Okay, that's what it is.
Other than that, man, just chilling. How about you?
Same old, man. You know, same thing you doing. Knowledge and live streams and just trying a lot of different shit. You know what I mean? Just seeing what happens. But we got the consultant here.
What's happening, y'all? What's happening, Bad Wolf?
There he is. What's up, Big C?
Chilling. Yeah, what y'all on tonight, man?
Man, we're talking about various things. So apparently, Kevin got hemmed up. I think they destroyed his passport card and they destroyed his license plate, man.
Really? The passport card?
Yes. I don't know how. Like, wow.
He got a lawsuit. That's federal property.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, but my question is, how did it get to that point, bro? Like, shit. You know what I mean? Like,
shit.
You
Kevin got to move.
You send the guy down in your basement to put a water heater in. You come down, there's a hole in the fucking house. Like, how did we get to this point? Like, what happened, bro? So yeah, they jacked my man's up. But yeah, tort claims, bro.
Yes, sir.
Tort claims all day.
He's gonna have to hit that pocket if they're gonna keep messing with him. He's gonna have to hit that pocket.
Shit, I would put that shit on his bond, honestly, yo. If you want to play dirty, put that shit on his bond. 5,000. What is it? 5,000 a month or something like that. I think the limit.
I be charging their ass $1 a second. Fucking with me, I'll be timing them. Shit. $1 a second.
Hilarious. I mean, it's $1 a second.
Bro, I got a $500,000 judgment. Anybody can go look it up in the Secretary of State in Florida here. I won me a judgment in the federal court like that. I charged them $1 per second, and they acquiesced to my contract. Send it to them via affidavit. Hit their ass. They haven't fucked with me since.
Get it how you live it, man. I ain't mad at that. Smack them hands. You putting your hands out, gotta smack them. Pop.
Back,
sir.
Catch these pippity paps.
Pippity paps.
Paps.
There's over 400. Now, how do you know this? There's over 400K nationals right now. A few years back, it was about 40. Yeah, man, people waking up, bro. So how do you know it's 400,000 though? Where'd you get that number from? I would sure like to know where you got that number from. I'm interested to know that. They register your home as if you're a government employee. This is how they tax you. Don't let them record your deed at the closing.
Nah. That's facts. Who the fuck said that?
Warner.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Hey, that's facts.
Same thing with your car. Same thing with your kid. You register it. You're letting them have a controlling stake or interest in your property or whatever.
Yeah.
So you got to make that gift.
Shit. Damn. Dropping bars on him. My man Warner's dropping heat. All right. People need to start filing lawsuits when they violate your right. Tort claim, baby. Take it to them.
Yeah.
Their rib cage, man. Kevin, you dropped out, bro. You want to jump back in, or you just watching now?
He's in the chat, I see.
Yeah, I see him in there. I have connections. If you got connections, please do tell. Hit me up. You know my email. Drop him. I'm interested in that. These people, the people are sovereign. They don't need to realize the United States is a union for commercial purposes. The individual sovereign gives up the sovereignty to the collective body politic. He says he's not dealing with this sovereign citizen crap.
Oh, that's what the police said to him?
Yeah.
That's an oxymoronic statement. You know,
Yeah. How about that, huh? There's no law that says you have to record your house deed into their trust.
Right.
Facts. This is all brilliant information. I'm just soaking up the knowledge.
See, the
What?
biggest thing is that most of these police officers, they're not taught this. Why would their training teach them about freedoms and rights? You know, which that doesn't apply to them because they're a corporation. They're Leos, law enforcement officers, who are dealing with private corporate, statutes and policies. So why would they teach? You know, they're not taught this stuff. Now, some of the older ones, you know, they know what's going on, but these newer ones, these young ones, nope, they got nothing on it. So that's why I'm saying you gotta like send out your paperwork to the chief of police, your attorney general, the governor, all those places, and so that they can't say that they didn't know. But also, like I was telling them before, you got to do all that, and you got to make sure you pull your stuff, close it. They got that account. You got to threaten them with lawsuits to close that. And then if they don't, then you go after the DMV and the cops for all that stuff. Get them all.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Agreed.
Now, there are some good cops out there who know what's going on, and some who don't know, but they know the truth when they hear it. They're like, okay, that sounds like something, especially when they run the ID. When they run the ID, that should be all that needs to be said.
That should be it. Like, why would you want to proceed after that? Unless it's like the guy's being a dick or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
You a bitch. You a bitch. What you gonna do? You know
right.
Like, who are you talking to like that? Break it out the car.
Remember, like the whole thing with them is that, they consider if you give them a reason to call you a belligerent or combatant.
Yeah.
If it's like if we're doing a business meeting and you're jumping up in my face, or getting rowdy, I'm going to label you a belligerent. Now we're going to go at it.
Right.
You remain cool, calm, and collective,
and
you handle your business properly as a gentleman. You self-govern.
Mm-hmm.
Then they don't have any excuse to say you were belligerent or combatant. Right. Well, was he hostile? Did he threaten you? Did you? No, he was talking quietly, calmly, told me he was a foreign national, hand me his ID, and that should be your business transaction. Nope, I don't want to answer any questions. And also, one of the things too, it sounded like he was answering their questions. When you're going back and forth with them,
yes, sir.
That's negotiated.
You're giving them jurisdiction when you're going back and forth.
It's like a girl at the club saying she's not interested, but she keeps letting me talk to her all night. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like
exactly. So boom, there you have it. That's facts, man, 100%. But yeah, yes, you're giving them when you over there answering questions, you're giving them jurisdiction. You know what I usually do? I'll talk, but I'm not answering your questions directly. My first thing is I'm a foreign national. No matter what you say first, I don't care if you say what color is this car. I'm a foreign national. That's my answer.
Yep.
And then after that, that's all I have. Do you have anything else? That's what I have right there. That's what I have right there. That's what I have right there. I don't answer questions. Boom.
Plus another thing, and like I said, I'm not there to judge how he talked or what the situation was, what he didn't do, but like that's one of the reasons why in my videos I tell people to go download those police manuals, get their manuals, highlight that, and when you are bothered in your personal conveyance, first thing that should be on your dashboard. As soon as some lights come on, grab your book, put up there, keep your hands where you can see them, they can see them. And I'm a foreign national. Do you know what that is? Nope, I'm not from. Oh, I'm glad you said so. I have your police manual right here that you were trained on. Mm-hmm. So now if you say you don't know it, either you're lying or you're incompetent, which means I can't do business with you. So please go contact your commanding officer. You don't really know what's going on here.
Agreed. And what I did notice is some states or cities chose to keep their police policies private, which is why you can't find them in some areas. Like I had actually found one here, and I think you found one where you live, and I found some certain places in other states, but there are some states that kept theirs private.
Well, the thing about what we're doing right here and right now is that they watch our channels. So a lot of them might have always been private, but you best believe that as we put this knowledge out there, they're going to flip the script. You know what I mean? Because then they can deal with situations like that. Maybe different states don't call them foreign nationals. Maybe they call them something different. But if you can't get the book to find out, then they're gonna be like, well, I don't know what that is. It's just like they don't know what a U.S. national is, because they're not taught U.S. national. They're taught foreign national.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, you best believe that. I mean, even look at the DS11. They just recently changed the DS11 and got rid of the acts and conditions section where it used to be 3 paragraphs. Now it's 1 tiny paragraph that don't mention anything about the explanatory statement or lining out anything.
I got it right here. Hold on. You said they changed it? When did they change it?
Just within the last couple of weeks.
What? Damn, I had this thing is like 2 months old.
Yeah, you probably got the old one. If you go online and get their digital version, yep, it's all changed.
Damn, that is crazy. So what? So they don't want you to know about the U.S. national. Yeah.
No,
I told you, man. It's
They
like
ain't gonna
that.
make no revenue.
Bro, listen, bro. Listen, that's what it all comes to. It's all commerce, yo. And my man said, I don't know how true it is, but he said 400,000 nationals and people knowing who the fuck they are, knowing they're not U.S. citizens. That's missed revenue. You got people putting in goddamn cease and desist orders to not have to go to court and shit. I had a guy who I helped out with his cease and desist. He was just on last week, and he was saying that he actually didn't have to go to court, and they dismissed his shit. He let his paperwork going for him. You know me?
Yes, sir.
Page 62, section 73, number 1, the people are vested with sovereign authority expressed by their representatives. Mason's Manual of Legislative Procedures. This man has books on books on books. Hella books. Serving legislative, thus legislative power is absolute, unlimited, except as restrained by the Constitution. Mm-hmm. They want the cops stupid and angry. Exactly. I think a lot of them motherfuckers be on roids too, bro. Like I done seen some of these dudes that just they go from 0 to 100 too fast to be regular. Like,
right.
These motherfuckers be roided. They the motherfuckers you want to watch out for because they'll split your goddamn head. That's what I was telling Kevin, like, bro, you gotta watch your mouth, man. You can't just be out there arguing no police. You a debtor at that point.
They be on that. They be on that training day shit.
Did you guys catch the story about the one cop or a guy who was becoming a cop and scored like a perfect on the test and they wouldn't hire him because he was too smart?
Yeah.
And so he ended up suing them because they wouldn't hire him, and that's when he blew the whole case open that they purposefully hired. You know, at least in his area, I'm not saying all cops are dumb by any means. I'm just saying that they like to hire the more aggressive ones, more military trained ones who take orders and who aren't too smart. You know, and I don't know if that's around the whole, I would say it's probably not around the whole country, but at least in that particular situation, that's what occurred, is that the guy was too smart and they wouldn't hire him because he was going to ask questions, which rolls into what you were saying earlier.
Yep. Exactly. They run that shit like a goddamn plantation, man. Are you free because of paperwork or is it self-evident? That's a tricky question because, I mean, yeah, we're free. But guess what? Again, this comes back down to what I said. You can say you're free all you want, and you can basically live like you're free all you want because you are free. But when you get pulled over at 3 a.m. in the side of that dark-ass road and it's just you and that motherfucking police officer, you better have some paperwork on file. Let's be realistic here, all right? Let's be realistic, okay? All right, you better have some paperwork on file. You better have your stuff right, because if it's not, you in for a long night. You know, it is what it is.
You gotta be able to express it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's because that's the only thing they understand. You know what I mean? They're used to, these people are trained in all types of techniques to, get what, to, how should I say, get you to contract with them, keep you talking, psychology. You know, they teach them basic psychology. You know what I mean? In order to trick people into continuing to contract, talk with them, all these things. Okay, so the average person is not prepared for their little training. All right, so you really have to know what you want to express to them, and like you said, have some paperwork. You know, the pen is mightier than the sword. So if you got everything lined up, but that at the end of the day, you can do everything perfect and still get bothered just because that's a human factor. You know, if this guy's on roids or he's mentally unstable, which they've found a lot of cops to be, you know what I mean? Unstable people, especially if they're taking steroids and they're all, that messes with your brain chemistry. You know, it really does. And so here you are on the side of the road with this mini Hulk with a pistol and a license to essentially kill and turn off his camera. You know what I mean? You gotta handle yourself correctly. You shouldn't have to but that's also the world we live in. You know what I mean? Like, I think one girl's like, well, I should be able to wear whatever I want. Yeah, you can wear whatever you want, but wearing whatever you want in the wrong area might get you got. And that goes for people of color too. I should be able to go down to Nantucket, Mississippi and walk through there. You know what I mean? But am I going to? Nope. Maybe during the daytime and maybe with a thing on me or something, but not just gonna skip my happy ass through there. You know what I mean? Like, you got to know what's going on and how to handle yourself. You know, not every place is safe. People can think that you can do whatever you want to do. All right, we'll say that to the wrong person, see what happens to you.
Precisely. We deal in realism. You feel me? And then we have an idea how it should be, but the only way we're going to get it to how it should be is if we deal in realism to move to that direction. So, yes, you better have your paperwork right, bro. Here's what it is. All right. Jordan C. Cruden versus Neil. He said he lost the card at the courthouse, but I knew he was lying when I got my car back and the plate was missing. That's when I knew he destroyed the card.
Yo, he need to Kevin.
Please tell me you got that on camera, when you got there. The first thing I would have done was like, yo, they took my plates and my passport card. I'd have recorded them saying my passport card was gone. Because you paid for that. You basically gave him fiat currency for that card.
I'm gonna send him the American national number for the passport agency or the passport people or whatever at the
State Department.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah! You know the Department of State is on their ass because they sent that letter. Norv Eisenberg sent them a letter in 2013 telling them stop being dickheads. Basically, people got the right to travel. This came from the Department of State. They sent the North Carolina Police Department a letter basically saying y'all are fucking up. Some people are called secure party creditors. I think they called them, and foreign nationals. They have special status that lets them travel. And they said even U.S. citizens have the right to travel. That's what they said. It's not easy, but that's what they said in the letter they wrote the North Carolina Police Department. And would you believe people are still overstepping to this day?
All people got to do is express it.
That's it.
I'm exercising my right to travel. I'm not operating in commerce here. I'm willing to, if you're going to give me a citation, give me a citation, but I'm not going to answer any more questions from you. Simple as that.
That's simple. Ain't got to yell, ain't got to talk back, ain't got to talk about his grandmother and shit like that. Ain't none of that. All you got to do is just say that and just be chill, man. Relax, take a deep breath and shit. What do you guys think about poison? I mean, hey, let me tell you something. We just talked about the jab mandates earlier, bro. We just talked about. All right, I'm gonna say this. All right, I showed you them houses out there in the desert. I think New Mexico is where they are. That might be me. I might be living in one of them houses. They had these little underground houses that they keep the place cool in the summer, but they also keep it kind of warm in the winter. So it's an in between, so it's livable. But yeah, man, hey, if shit gets to the point where I think it's gonna get, where everything is damn digital, man, you might not have no choice but to keep it moving. Feel me?
I'll be in Vanuatu.
Lucky. I want to be there too, man.
Hey, let's go. Let's roll. But yeah, that's and that's what it is, man. With the mandates, bro. You gotta. At this point, people should be thinking about: do you really want to continue working at 9 to 5? Can you see yourself working at 9 to 5 for the rest of your life behind that computer or in that wherever you are doing that shit? Or is it a situation where you've always been thinking about doing something and starting something up to work for yourself? If that's the case, now is the time to do that because we already see what's happening. All right. You got to choose who you want to serve. You want to serve man or do you want to serve nature, God, whatever you call it? An individual of any age may choose to voluntarily surrender or cancel his or her license at any time. The individual must appear at a Secretary of State branch office and surrender the license. I don't think so. I mean, I think it's as simple as sending in a letter of rescission for something like that. But I mean, that sounds like that makes sense. It said armed and dangerous on my permit. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what happened, bro. I think they got over on you because whatever time you told them certain shit and they didn't like what you told them, they said, "Oh, you want to play games, huh? Uh-huh. All right, here you go. Next time you get pulled over, see you deal with that." That's what happened, probably. Defamation.
They got you, yo. Yeah, I mean, hey, yeah, absolutely. You can get them, but you gonna have to straighten it out because they wound you up real good, man. They wound you up real good this time. My next door neighbor is a cop. I told him about my rights to travel. He called me a sovereign citizen. I got his back up and ran in his house. He has not talked to me in 3 years.
Damn.
That man over there threatening his neighbors. Jeez, I thought we was cool. If the contracts are based on fraud, is it a valid contract? No, it isn't. It isn't. But the thing about it is, a lot of people don't know it's fraud. That's how they get over it. And they try to pretend that it's not fraud as much as they can. They try to force that jurisdiction on you. We got to put together a gallery of the states. I'll start with Nevada. What do you mean a gallery?
Probably meant gathering.
Okay. Damn, they play Catch Me If You Can. I always have to reread, especially in New York. Yeah, New York is crazy. Peace and blessings, the consultant for our last convo with Genius Level. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, bro.
Every conversation with him is genius. Sharp as a tack. Mellow, thanks, but they steal our money. But they steal our fiat. It's really theirs, though, technically. So, I mean, they stole our gold. That's what I will say. That's the money, the gold and silver. That's what they stole. In the state of Michigan, I cannot find a manual police policy. Still looking. I couldn't find one either from Michigan, bro. They own some shit out there, bro. They keep that shit private.
I'm sending him something right now.
All right.
Might be what he's looking for.
Rule 902, evidence that is self-authenticating. Yeah, with that vaccine shit, yeah, man. New York is on some crazy shit. I understand the four corner rule. Yeah, I do too. You know what's interesting? I talked about this like last month. I looked into some of those laws that quote unquote guns and firearms and such, and I noticed that which Taza Doc pointed this out. And it was very interesting with the four corner rule because these statutes that basically say you cannot like do this such and such with guns were all in parentheses. All of them. And then you look at other statutes and they're not in parentheses. And this one's in parentheses. And I'm like, yo, I never really paid attention to that. But it turns out with the four corner rule, it actually is not there technically. So it's not really violating the Second Amendment because it's not really there because of the four corner rule. It's very crazy how they did that shit. And if you choose to follow it, then just, you know, but as we said before, you better know what to say in front of that magistrate. Actually, with the deed, if you buy a new home outright, when you talk to the title person, they will ask you, they will ask how you want to hold the title. You want to hold it in the grant deed. Okay. LLC, EIN, and my effective CP and sole PR. Okay. Contracts, 8 parts to it, make it legal. Legal. I hate that word. The People's Court and Supreme Court, look up the difference between the judge and the justice. Man, y'all going so many different directions. Jeez. Y'all going a lot of different directions here. Four Corners rules in the Chicago style manual, a book you folks should have a read. Yeah. Each person can have a CPN, strengthen your public side, and also operate you off LLC EIN. Yeah, I know about the CPNs. CPNs aren't illegal. A lot of people think they are.
They're only illegal if you are getting them for the purpose of defrauding.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Otherwise, they are in fact legal for you to get. I mean, lots of stars have them to protect their real number, and operate in commerce with the other one. So they're not illegal. I mean, there are places out there who provide illegal ones, from like, kids or dead people or whatever. Those would be illegal. But the real ones you can just get from the IRS directly and, operate with those. But
yeah, a lot of people don't know you're not even supposed to be giving your social security number out. That's 42 USC 40888.
I give them an EIN.
EINs. I love EINs.
Foreign EIN, brah.
I love EINs. EINs in the business. Facts. What up, Cub Blood? What we talking about today, man? You jumped in late, bro. We've been going at it, man. We've been dropping some big bars on here. We've been talking about everything from vaccines to Kevin getting harassed again, the damn jurisdiction, all that stuff we usually polish up on.
I think
I've been investing.
I think I found the manual for Carl for Michigan. I sent that over to him. 2 different links. I think the second one is the actual manual, though. Should be good.
Cool. I was looking at the you could actually also use the what is it? The Department of State have something on there for consular relations. I think it is, if I'm not mistaken. Like maybe it's not consular relations. It's like foreign national stuff where it's a whole different thing, like for people who aren't U.S. citizens, and it's got a whole bunch of different procedures. And I think it's like 200 pages long or something like that. Maybe not that much, but I know there's something on there, that website about that. I've been investing in Bitcoin currency, and Bitcoin all over the place right now, bruh. Bitcoin is everywhere, man. Last time I looked at Bitcoin, that shit was at what was it, 45,000? It dropped down to 44,000 now. Sheesh.
I've been creating domains on the what do you call it? I forgot what it's called. God damn, it slipped my mind. I'll think of it later.
Word. All right. Pay all debt. I own 2 Benzes off. One under my clone version of me. Just pay off the debt, and that's what the feds are worried about. Yeah. They want you to, you can't just be getting a CPN to do some ill shit and not discharge that obligation.
3 ways to pay.
I give them SHIT. You got to be 2 people to move the matrix. Well, one person and 1 man or woman. I'll say that. But yeah, I do. Or you could have a whole nother person too, technically.
About 30 of them. Hey,
man over there looking like multi-man. You go over consultant's house and look like multi-man. Oh,
A6, look what just came in, bro. Hold on. I'm gonna show you. You see that? We was talking about in the chat.
Oh man, I'm trying. How can I be that? Let me show you what came from me. Let me know if anybody else got this shit, because I did not apply for this.
Oh yeah, I had one of those. Go to bank.
I don't like the way it came to me, and I didn't apply for it. I don't like it. You said you like it?
Nah, I don't like them.
Yeah, I don't like them. I'm about to send that shit back with a cease and desist. Don't use that name again unless you want problems.
Right.
You feel me? But nah, that joint was. I thought that was a little weird because they had the ends ledges on the bad boy, and I never applied for this card at all. So I'm wondering how the fuck they got my information, but it's all public, I suppose. So yeah. Yes, sir. All right, where we at? Thank you, brother. I love the information. Thank you for watching, man. Thank you for watching. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please hit that. We got 21 people in here now. Please hit the like button. Everybody, just take 1 second to hit the like button. Even if you're not near your phone, just I'm gonna be the guy and ask you to take 2 steps towards your phone. Just hit that like button real quick for me, because that's gonna push us up in the algorithm, so I get these more subscribers and we can get these numbers out, man. This message out to these people, man. More people we get in here, the more of a knowledge flow we got. Oh, my man said read Paper Trip 1 to 3. That must be a novel or something? That's cool.
A good book.
It is? Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Did you find any new info about the vaccine? No, I mean, I pretty much, here's where I am with the vaccine. I ain't with it. That's where I'm at with it. I've already made a conscious decision, so whatever happens with that, I'll move around. And I know a whole bunch of other people that's moving around too, so I'm not alone. Feel me? I got the same card as a consultant. Nice.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, got that card jumping off, man. Yes, sir. We got big cards out here. But yeah, man. So if anybody has anything else to say or drop, we can do that. And then if not, I can go ahead and head out. But let me drop a link in here again in case anybody has any extra words. There's the link again, folks. If anybody wants to drop in, it's right at the bottom of the chat. Hop in here and drop some bars. The jab is genocide, but for the great banking reset. Yeah, that's definitely coming, the banking reset. And I think, man, geez, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I think there's gonna be a lot of sick people in the next 5 years, man. people just ran out here and took that jab, bro. It's gonna be a lot, and people gonna be just dying unexpectedly, and they never gonna admit it was them. And even if they did admit it was them, you can't sue them because you signed a waiver saying that you can't, nothing can be done about it.
I think those people are gonna be infecting people who didn't get the jab.
You think so?
Right.
I think within this month, it's going to be a lot of bloodshed on the streets because people, if you got people quitting jobs, a lot of companies just going to shut down. It's going to be another lockdown, in my opinion.
Yeah, somebody else said that too. As far as the lockdown goes, they were saying that, just some people not going to work and shit like that, companies shutting down. It's going to be a lot of famine and stuff like that. That's possible. Like I said, boys, the right to bear arms shall not be infringed.
But see, that's the turmoil they want. They want us, never forget, like the Art of War. I mean, these books were written, okay? They read these books more than we read these books, all right? And the more controversy that they can stir up amongst ourselves, red, blue, U.S. citizens versus U.S. nationals, got the jab, didn't get the jab, food, no food. That keeps us all off kilter. So then we pay attention to fighting amongst ourselves and not the man behind the curtain. That's what they want. That's why they want to push everybody as being individual. You should be an individual. You can be a this, and this all on your own and stand on your own. Well, whatever happened to we can love each other for our differences and come together and build something as a people and appreciate the differences and unite through anything, but they want everybody to be individual. Spy on your neighbor. Who got the jab? Did they not get the jab? This, that, and the other. Keeping us individuals is what keeps us from coming together and fighting the real enemy, which once again is the man behind the curtain.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Or the woman.
Or the woman, yeah. or the reptilian. Holy shit.
Yes. Well, hey, at least their plan is pretty simple. Use us for food and, trade us off. At least I can understand that. It's the other insidious ones that are called humans that are the ones I'm worried about.
Yeah.
That's fair. I cannot find the national passport number. Can the consultant send me as well? Please add Mellow John. There you go. Consultant.
I got him.
You guys drop way back. What does that mean? Thank you. I just got it. I will be looking through it again. Thank you, no doubt. Like that PDF. I feel like excuse me. I feel like that took as sheeted over 600,000 estates due to COVID.
That's a familiar word.
Not for me. I need to learn that though. USC Title 12, Section 411. Use that on your checks. Turns your fiat currency into real currency in your account. No, you can get gold or silver out of it. Read that section.
Credit.
I'm writing that down. They look into that. COVID is radiation poisoning. It's funny how all this started when they started putting up the 5G towers. I don't know about. I'm not sold on a 5G thing just yet. I think the 5G thing is going to be relevant with the 6G situation. Excuse me, 5G. I think the radiation thing is going to be more relevant with the 6G. I don't know. Maybe not. I have done some research about it, and I do know that radiation can affect you and make you sick and stuff like that. But I can't put it past people just eating the wrong shit and not taking care of their bodies, man. Like, how many issues have we heard with there being problems with the meat and stuff like that being shipped over here from different countries? Like America under Obama allowing certain meats to be imported from China and shit like that, where the meat's fucked up anyway. You know what I mean? Low quality meat, stuff you really shouldn't be eating in the first place. I still think it goes back to diet and the people not working out.
It's really a combination of all of that. Some people are going to be more susceptible to frequencies. Some are going to be more susceptible to the things that are in their food, the diet that they have, the lack of things that they don't have in their food. Everybody's genetic structure operates a little bit differently, and some people can resist certain things a lot more than others. I went to school for electrical engineering technology, so I learned about all those different frequencies and what they do to your body. So frequencies that, like our phones use in these towers, are at a high enough frequency where they are not natural to our body. The Earth actually gives off about a natural frequency of about 3 hertz to 8 hertz, which helps to heal the body. And so now we're bombarding it with millihertz and megahertz, up in those frequencies. They do damage your cells, but your cells regenerate. So with the proper diet, your body can resist these things. But if you're not, like you said, taking your vitamins, getting the right minerals, nutrients, supplements in you, then that damage that you're getting hit with that cell phone on your head every day starts to break down your original cell structure. And then as your body ages, it's copying now bad DNA that's been cracked or the free radicals are coming out of it. Okay. So that's what especially like, what is it? Grape seed extract goes into your body and removes all the free radicals. So now when your body is replacing it, those free radicals aren't floating around there and your body's not making a copy. It's just like in the old days when you guys ever used to take a copy of a sheet of paper, like a file, and you copy it too many times. What ends up happening is it starts getting blurry. Okay, because it's no longer making a good copy.
Yeah.
So those little, I forgot what they're called, but there's little genetic DNA splicers that cut your DNA and then recombine it, essentially rejuvenating it. Well, if you put a bad piece of code, or let's just say some debris in there, or a free radical, now it's copying that with a little blip on it, which for the first couple of cycles isn't too bad, but eventually it's copying it, and now it's getting distorted because now that bulge is on the DNA strand. So when you take things that remove the free radicals, like another one is black seed oil.
Black seed oil.
Yeah, those go in there, and people should be taking about 500 to 700, even 1,000 a day to help keep yourself young and remove those free radicals. So as long as those little DNA, they're like zippers. They look like little zippers. As long as those can copy the code in its pure form, you can live longer. But the moment you start letting like radiation and poor diet, whatever else affect your structure, it's going to start making those copies, and it's just going to be bad after that. You're going to go downhill.
Dang, word. Yeah, good lesson there, man. I took some notes. Thanks for dropping that knowledge on us. Hell yeah. The divide and conquer technique. Yeah, it's effective, man. It works. It works. The divide and conquer works, man. White versus black, like he said, national versus U.S. citizen, all that shit, man. It works effective. That's why they keep using it. It's battle tested. The real battle is, do you have more faith in man or God? That's what I'm trying to tell. That is what I'm telling people. That one comment right there is what I'm telling people, yo. That's the one right there. That's what I'm saying, bro. You really gotta. I tell people all the time, I got an immune system that's pretty good, so I'm gonna trust my immune system. Even if I get some shit, I'll be probably down for a few days. I'll be back. I'll be good. Don't worry about all that. Look into Bitcoin Cash. I'm here in my spike high at the end of the year. Damn, I need to get with that. I think I have Bitcoin Cash. I just never really use it on my phone. The number way back. Good look, sir. My man. What up, Gage? My man got the skeleton. I didn't know who that was at first. Threw me off. I thought Scorpion was in this bitch. Like, God damn. Your movie sucked. Yeah, they call it shedding. Yeah, the shedding. That's what they were saying. The shedding, man. I know a lot of people, man, they won't even talk to a woman that's vaccinated, bro. Like, that's ill. The dating pool is already shit. But if you somebody who pretty much wants to stay organic, you got another hurdle. Vaccinated ladies, like, damn, everything else is good. She look good, she nice to you, she give you the attention you want, but she vaccinated. It's unfortunate, fellas. Keep your heads up out there. Bad wolf dropping knowledge. There's a reason most of the people who died had at least 2 to 4 comorbidities. Yeah. I think 5G is going to be broadcasting at 60 gigahertz, which is the frequency of oxygen absorption. Holy shit. Hey, man. The 6G, I had looked into what they were planning on doing was going to be a global grid. And if you know how Earth works, pretty much, Earth has pretty much a consciousness grid that's already here. The pyramids and all of those things that are built, like the ancient statues and monuments and all of such, are lined up directly with Earth's consciousness grid. So whatever they were doing back in the day, they were able to tap into Earth's consciousness grid in order to use it to basically do things like excuse me, telepathically communicate with each other without like even speaking. So the knowledge that they would exchange was basically through thoughts and pictures and such. So what they're trying to do is with this 6G and all these towers are going to end up putting up, and with people being the towers, with themselves turning themselves into an antenna with the vaccine and the RFID chips, they're probably going to make it be a situation where they're the grid, and it's basically an artificial grid. But they were saying that Mars probably went through something similar to people that came here from Mars. Mars was a destroyed planet for what have you or whatever, and they were saying that Mars is high in radiation because it probably was a nuclear war. The people tried to do the same thing on Mars, and they forgot what the fuck they were doing. The shit spun out of control. They ended up fighting each other. Everybody got killed from nuclear explosions, and there was a small section of people who actually fled, and they were the elites who actually caused the problem in the first place that actually came here to this dimension. And they were saying like it's got a lot to do with dimensional like travel and all that other stuff like that. But they were saying that that's probably what happened to Mars because they tried to build a synthetic grid, and the only thing that's wrong to synthetic grid is not based on love, is what they said. Love has to be the anchor that keeps everything flowing. If there's not that love there, there's nothing to keep everybody from killing each other. So that's pretty much what happened before. I think that's what the 6G is probably going to be, because they're trying to synthetically build some shit like with machines and stuff, and it never pans out that way. Again, it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think. I'll be honest with you. I don't even think the New World Order is going to work, man. I think they're going to fucking lose, bro. I think too many people are waking up. It only took 300 people to beat the motherfuckers in the with the Spartans and shit. So, here's what it is on that one.
One of the things that people don't understand is like, to break it down in simple terms, if we are composed a large percentage of water, okay. Well, how the microwave works when you heat up your food is that specific frequency interacts with the water molecules and causes them to vibrate. And that's actually how your food heats up. That's why if you've got some food that has very low moisture and you heat it up, it'll typically either burn or it won't get hot. Mm-hmm. So if you have like, say you're reheating some, I don't know, cornbread or something, and you spray a little bit of water on there or whatever else, it'll actually moisten up. Okay. But that particular radiation itself, in messing with the bonds of the water, okay, because it's making it vibrate. Just like, when you see those glasses and a singer sings a pitch and then the glass breaks, that's the same thing that goes on with frequencies, okay? So depending on what frequencies hit our body, and we're composed of water, okay, that's how some of the damage can also occur. And then, you start looking at like your pineal gland, which is actually a real crystal inside of your head, okay? And that's also what connects you to other energies and frequencies and things of that nature. So we are living tuning forks. We can transmit energy and thought, and we can receive energy and thought. So depending on what you are exposed to, you can heal yourself, or damage from the outside can come in and do damage. So that's why the body's constantly repairing itself. And that's why, the old saying is you are what you eat. Okay, so if your body is you and you are the temple, whatever you build your temple with is what the temple is going to be made out of. So if you're putting in crap, like regular white bread, and there's no minerals in there and it's been bleached with a chemical, so there's some of that in what you're eating, you are putting in inferior products. Okay, you're putting in hollow nutrients. There's nothing in there. So you're really eating, and then your body is now utilizing crap material to build itself. You know what I mean? So that's something. Another thing to look into in repairing DNA is Oramus, monoatomic gold, or Oramus. That actually has the ability to repair it fills in the cracks in your DNA with gold, powdered gold, and repairs your DNA, which will allow you to essentially have an anti-aging effect with other benefits and whatnot. But you guys have to look that up for yourselves. Yeah. But I would
know about the gold.
Definitely want to start taking some monoatomic gold, Oramus,
colloidal silver too, right?
Huh?
Colloidal silver too.
Colloidal silver, yep. I take that 5 ounces every day. That and the colloidal. Well, you can get colloidal gold, you can get colloidal silver, but I also take the monoatomic Oramus. And usually you can tell it's good if it's more expensive.
Right, yeah. I bought about $80.
Yeah, well, the ones I get, I think it's like I don't know, probably around $40 for like the mini vials or whatever. But yeah, just do your homework, take care of your body, because that's it's you. You know what I mean?
The temple. The body
Yeah.
is a temple. Absolutely. Good stuff there. Electromagnetic ley lines. Yeah. Yeah. Grounding helps helps that a little too. Just walking back. Yes. You know what? When I was in Texas, this guy actually, I was taking a Lyft ride. So this guy, and he started because in the lift they want you to wear a mask and shit. So I got in and was like, yeah, I don't have a mask. He was like, no, because he ain't had one either. He was no, that's good, man. Don't worry about it, man. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm in the right spot. So we get to talking, and this guy was dropping some bars. He was like, whenever you get a chance, just get some soil out of the earth and hold it in your hand and just tell it what you want. He was like, the earth is alive. It can hear us. He's like, when you get a chance, walk barefoot on the soil, and just plant with the earth and just enjoy the plant with the earth. And he said, you'll be surprised what you put out in the universe, how fast you manifest it. I was like, that's deep stuff right there, man. He was like, yeah,
Well, you're also grounding your body, so that negative energy, or I mean, even your thoughts. You carry these negative thoughts about yourself, or images or whatever. That's energy inside your body. So when you're touching the ground, I mean, that's why lightning typically goes from the clouds to the ground, is you're discharging your body of those negative energies and negative ions, and so you're going to feel better. Another thing that I take is MSM, which is a sulfur, which, after it rains, you smell that kind of that like clean, pure smell. Well, that's actually an MSM. Okay. And so that goes into the grass, goes into the plants in tiny amounts. What this does is it actually purifies your cells. It cleans all the crap out of your cells. And that's why, like, if you've ever seen, like, when dogs get sick, they'll see them eating grass. It's because they're really eating the grass for the MSM that's in there that helps to heal the body, heal the cells. So that's definitely something else that you guys should look up and do your own due diligence on.
That's good information too. Yeah, I always see I used to have a cat back in the day. He used to eat grass all the time. I was like, damn, what the hell wrong with you, man? Mars, LOL, is on Devon Island, and one other. This is why they film their so-called. Wait, this is where they film their so-called Mars. We are in the dome. You're not going to Mars. No one is from Mars. I think it might be interdimensional travel. I think it's possible, interdimensional travel. Like I said, it came from other dimensions and stuff like that. And from what I understand, man, I was hearing that what Earth is not entirely what it looks like. So this is a giant ice ball for what they said. And Earth is basically just one little pocket on that giant ice ball. And when you go beyond the ice crust and such, there's other little puddles and stuff, and like life organisms all inside of it, basically other civilizations, which are technically dimensions. I was looking at something real interesting. I need to find this. This was on Instagram, but they were saying that there was portals they actually found that were here, and they were built by aliens. And there was I think there was one on Antarctica or something like that, and then there was one in Hawaii. I can't remember exactly where they were, but they were saying as portals you can actually get to other parts of the Earth in and instantly. Like when you go through it's like a water film, and when you go through it, you jump to another dimension, like on some Star Trek type stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's lots of natural portals all over the Earth that can take you from one place on the planet to another place. Different times. That's why these people have time slips, or they'll just be walking in the woods and disappears because a portal will open up and they'll walk through it. And you can be anywhere from a different time in the past to a different time in the future to just being on another planet or outer space. Some of these just go where they go.
How wild is that though? You don't know where that shit goes at, bro. Back away from there, man.
I just want a time machine.
Shit.
That's all I want.
Hey, I tell you what though, I heard there was a crystal pyramid in the Bermuda Triangle on the ocean floor. And the reason why people go missing is because that pyramid activates every so often, and it causes a green mist to surface on the bottom of where the water is around the Bermuda Triangle, and people jump like jump through like a slipstream of some sort, and they actually end up in another dimension. There was one guy who flew a plane. He was headed from he was leaving Florida, I believe, right? You know what I'm talking about, man. I see you shaking your head.
Yeah.
And then he goes through a green mist and he comes back. I think he said it was like 2 weeks later or something like that. He went missing and he just comes back towards Florida, but he was headed away from Florida. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, there's okay, so in reading, I do a lot of reading on Atlantis. That's one of my big passions, and the pyramids. So they actually did find a pyramid off the coast of the Bermuda Triangle area that had a luminescence coming from it, but they couldn't find the light source, and no vegetation was growing on this pyramid whatsoever. Now, in the one story, they found a red ruby crystal in there, and it since has gone missing. But what it was is not so much the pyramid itself, but there's supposed to be a large crystal. So the whole pyramid wasn't itself crystal. Part of it was, but there's supposed to be a crystal that was used in Atlantis. I forgot what they called it, but some kind of like the light temple crystal that they believe is still down there, and it has the ability to open portals. And so it's still just charging and discharging, because a lot of these things that they had were like ZPMs, okay, 0-point modules, where they just pull energy either from subspace or they can take an energy from around the Earth. And so it's charging up. And then when certain things come into play within its proximity, it gets zapped because there's no control module on it. It's just
that's wild
going on. So,
man, that's interesting, man. So that's why people go missing every so often. So where do you think they end up at? Just some random dimension or past, future?
I mean, there's no solid evidence of where they go or when. But I don't know. That's have you ever looked up OOPARTS, OPARTS, which stands for out of place artifacts?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so when you get a chance, it's OOPARTS. Just Google OPARTS, and it's out of place artifacts is what it stands for. And literally, you'll find things like there was like a bell that was found in like 5 miles deep in the charcoal when they were mining for coal, which they can't explain why that was 5 miles deep. And then they found a car spark plug inside of a rock that had got cracked open, like an actual spark plug.
Holy shit.
There's all these weird things that shouldn't exist. So where do these things go? We don't know. I mean, that thing could be atomizing things, or it could be putting people slightly out of phase where they're still right here and now in this dimension, but they're slightly outside of phase.
You can't
see
them,
everything right now is existing on a frequency, and if you shift that frequency forward or back a little bit, you're invisible, but you're still here.
So I saw that on so many cartoons when we were younger and TV shows where they mess with some scientist kid is messing around with a machine, and then he ends up being invisible or something like that. Yeah, that's information that they put out there right there. So they want you to know. They gotta tell you what the hell they're doing.
Yep.
Before they do it. Yes, sir. That's great stuff right there, man. I tell you that the Philadelphia experiment always got me, because when Albert Einstein created that equation, he started playing around with stuff camouflage, and he accidentally discovered quantum teleportation. And they basically the government denied any existence of the of happenings. But there was too many people that had saw what happened that were talking, and they basically created that giant boat where they put a machine on there to generate exactly what we were talking about with the green mist and the boat went missing and all that stuff. And people
Philadelphia experiment.
Yeah, Philadelphia experiment. And the boat came back, and people were like a part of the boat, like their legs were stuck they were deatomized inside the boat.
Yeah, they were fused to the floorboards. People went insane.
People went crazy.
Did you read the part where the two guys jumped off the boat?
Yeah,
and went to the future.
They went to the future?
Yeah, two guys. One of them was still alive. The other one came back early, but they both traveled to the future, different points and times. And the one guy, I won't make it a long story, but he ended up living I think it's like 20 or 30 years from the future now. So, and he was talking about how the book was written obviously way back, in Nikola Tesla's days, but he ends up talking about how like the TVs were like either like they were like super thin, and like the cities were different, like all this crazy stuff. And apparently like the cities then are basically all corporations, and yet they're run by a group of genetically enhanced individuals who created a super crystal that is conscious, that runs all of the, everything.
I believe
Like
it.
essentially it's an AI that runs everything. Like you don't have to do anything. You do nothing. All of our trust fund money and whatever else is already handled for us. Our room is paid for, food is paid for. You've got like the Jetsons where the sidewalks all move, he was saying. So all this crazy stuff that he shouldn't have known anything about, 30, 40 years ago. And he's talking about stuff that we're coming up on now.
Yeah, that's that 6G, I think. Not that 6G. Game is about levels of consciousness. It is crazy we can all live in the same place but not have the same understanding of reality. Yeah, how about that, man? If we're all on this channel listening and talking or whatever, man, you are definitely on the same plane of reality we're on. Looking to get a new electric company, Lucid. Looking to another Lucid investment, he said. Okay. Jordan, more of this new age junk, really? Electron flow is with the Earth grounding. It's good you can get grounding mats for inside. Just install it correctly, though. Okay. Yeah, my man learning. Tony Cooper, like, what's going on here? Yup. That or what B Champ said. In order to prevent disease, we have to build up our body. They make grounding saddles too. Just be careful what you step on. Don't get fired with electricity. Okay. Grounding
It's not
saddle.
fun.
Grounding. Shit. Okay. Earth isn't a ball either. It's flat. Ice crust. It's an ice wall. Okay. On the subject of portals, have a look at CERN. Yeah, we know about CERN. We talked about CERN before. You know what? I thoroughly believe people those goddamn government officials playing around with CERN is why we have so many Mandela effects, bro. Like, yo, did you see the video on Instagram? I think this video is doctored.
I seen that with the Bernstein thing.
Yo, that show is crazy. Yo, bro, hold on. I gotta show y'all this. Yo, we can't continue this.
Wow.
I'm not letting y'all get off here tonight until we see this video. Hold on. Y'all go ahead. Yo, please, Bad Wolf, if you want to drop some knowledge, please do so. I gotta pull this video.
All right. Yeah, so speaking of the Mandela effect, as weird as this might sound, and I can't explain it other than this, but we're living in it. So the theory goes that CERN in the original universe or the other dimension opened a hole that essentially tore apart that space-time continuum. Okay. And so apparently souls or people were shifted here in this one. So some people remember Mandela having died in prison, while other people remember him getting out of prison and living to a ripe old age. Well, it seems the people that remember him dying in prison were from what we'll call is, universe 1. Okay. And let's call this where we're at right now, universe 2. And people in universe 2 are like, well, I remember him getting out of prison, living, going into politics and then dying. So does everybody remember this same event differently if there's not something that actually transpired? And then, of course, that brings into the whole effect of those people from 1 to people in 2 remembering the Berensteins differently. Various. What was the one? Sinbad making the one movie.
Yeah.
That
was a big one for me because I remember the plot of that movie.
Yeah, I mean. So that's what I'm saying. So what the theory is that somehow these two different multiverses, if you will, got fused into this one. Like people, not all of them. And like I said, I don't know how this all works. It's still just, up in the air. But some of those people consciousness were shifted here into this one. So we've got two different realities that people remember, but a majority of things are the same. And yet certain things that we all have grown up with and know to be true are different.
All right, yo, that's facts, man. I got something for you. Now, you heard what the Bad Wolf just said. Check this shit out. This could be edited video. I'm not saying it's not. I don't know how to edit videos like this. But check this crazy shit out right here. Hold on. All right, look at this right here. Now we talking about the Bernstein Bears thing, right? Look at this craziness.
An old book. It's something my brother and I used to have growing up. And I started to look on the internet about this crap, and some weird stuff going on here with this name, Bernstein Bears. So I had this book. Again, it's my nephew's, but I had this book in my closet. They came over. I wanted to give it back to them. I planned on going out there to see them. And I dug it out, and I noticed that the Berenstain had said Berenstein in that room. But I come out here into just the normal other part of the house, and it says this. So you know, I'm not crazy. I'm going to show you. As I pass through this doorway, what happens, and it's fucking weird. All right, it happens when it gets in the room. See it? And then back out here. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. And then normal.
Keep watching.
I don't. This just creeps me out, man. I don't even like to be in this room anymore. When I sleep in here, you look at that. That shit is changing.
What the fuck?
There. I just know something weird in that room, and whether or not it has anything to do with these two items.
All right. So look at this real close.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could be edited. It could be edited.
It's possible, but the fact remains that, remember, the Mandela effect got named for Mandela. So the question is how do you guys remember that occurrence with Mandela? Do you remember him dying in prison, or do you remember him getting out and living and then dying?
I remember there was a big thing, a big funeral, and I actually stayed home from school that day because my mom had said that, you know, she basically stated how important the day was or whatever. So she actually kept me home from school, and I actually watched it. I watched the funeral. It was on the news and everything. And they talked about it when we went to school the next day about Nelson Mandela died. I mean, one of the kids raised his hand and they were talking about it.
But do you remember him dying in prison or outside of prison?
No, he died. I remember him dying in prison. This was back in the late 80s, early 90s, I think.
Yeah, see,
I stayed home from school for the funeral.
See, that's what I remember, and that's the same thing that we did, you know, because, you know, it was like, oh, you know, he died, you know, in prison. But yet, if you go and research records, you know, unless there was a Mandela update, he didn't die in prison. Yeah. Not, at least not here.
Yeah, man. It's craziness, man. What a weird world we live in, bro. But I tell you, that Bernstein Bears thing, that was weird. But it could have been video edit. What do y'all think, man?
But see, the Bernstein
the Instagram video, yeah, I got you. Hold on, let me do that. Go ahead. What were you saying, Batwool?
Oh yeah, the Bernstein. If you look back, one of the other Mandela effects of it is the name change, and I looked that up, and so there might be something to that. So supposedly, and this could be them covering their tracks, that the name change between Stain and Steen was due to copyright infringement. So supposedly that's why they said that was changed. You know, later on in the years, is because somebody else who had the name sued them and they got it. But like I said, the Mandela effect and a lot of those other ones, you know, there's something to that. That is completely a different beast right there.
I remember Bernstein Bears. I remember Bernstein. That's what I remember. We didn't say Stain. We said Bernstein.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what we said. Steen. E-I-N. Yeah, but yeah, there's the link right there. If anybody was asking, the link to the Instagram video I just showed you guys is there. If you're interested in looking at it, you can click that link and you can zoom in nice and easy and see for yourself if you couldn't see it good here. But there's some fuckery afoot. there's no way to slice it. There's some goofiness going on. But I mean, that's what it is, though, I suppose. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So look, man, I'm getting tired as hell. I'm about to get up off of here, man. It's a great conversation we had today. We covered a lot of good topics. As usual, this is information for the people who decide to look a little further into what's going on. So with that said, there's a lot of great stuff here for you guys to discover. If you tuned in late, please re-listen and jump back on here. And please drop me a like on this video. I greatly appreciate that. Any comments you guys have, drop them in the comment section because I closely monitor my comment section and I reply to just about everybody when I get a chance. If I haven't replied to you, it's because I haven't gotten a chance to get around to it yet. I will get around to it eventually, though. But yeah, so let's. My man says Bernstein is a German word for yellow crystal emerald. Okay. Dude always eating. Yeah. my man stay grubbing, yo. He be getting busy, though.
Yo.
Jimmy Bennett is not New Age. It is the perspective from Jewish mysticism, Kabbalah. Like, y'all getting into another because y'all trying to get me pulled out of here. They trying to get my channel ganked. Talking about the juice. The juice is loose. But yeah, whatever, man. I will holler at you guys next time. Meanwhile, it is the Foreign National Born Natural. I'm going to pass it to Bad Wolf.
All right, guys. We all appreciate you. Don't forget to support the man A6 and we definitely appreciate you guys listening into this channel. And, if you guys need something, hit us up. We're, working for you guys as much as we possibly can and helping you guys to get those rights and freedoms back. So take care, self-govern, stay wise, stay woke.
Facts. And then my man, Westcoff Consulting.
Oh, yeah, that's my email. Y'all got, y'all can hit me up on there if you need to reach out to me. Otherwise, I'm cool.
No doubt. All right, folks. Stay smart and stay awake, stay vigilant, and stay jab free.
All right.
Thanks.